check. Check, check. It's going to be Evan Jones, but it doesn't matter, whichever one you want. But technically, Joey Daniels, a freshman, is number 2, but they would go.
I watched him at that JV game the other day. I watched him at the JV game the other day. He's just small, right? Yeah, I know. Just he looked great in that JV game. No. Nevin is a good athlete. He stays healthy.
So when I heard we had a sub for Denny tonight, I thought it was imperative when I heard who it was to come up and explain the rules of the district and the fact that this is a family program that we're about to experience tonight.
I guess the article in the paper about lack of attendance is true. Look at this.
Dave's known as the John or Mark Madden of high school announcing.
When they come up and do the preemptive strike. Does Dave bring them back?
No.
Okay. I'll bring them back.
Thanks.
Any idea who the kicker is? Might be the first name we need.
There's so much stuff here. Here, it'll be on here.
Hey, Dave, memorize some of those stats when I talk about St. Clair.
Yep.
10, 25, right? Take some notes here. Is that right? No, never mind.
What's it?
I thought Michael Palmer had 56 receptions.
No, he does not have 56 receptions. Michael Palmer?
56 yards.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. He had a long reception.
Lucas, Mason, Sam, Anderson.
Is that a real dog? That's interesting. Pretty frosty already between, if you're watching, the two coaches.
Render's the prick of high school following. Although Albie said he's one of the nicest guys. He said, you know, like when, who was the coach before?
Well, he's nice to Albie.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. Well, who was the coach here at Mount Lebanon before?
Chris Allen?
Herring. He said Albie would set up not meetings, but interviews, shows and stuff. Yeah. Herring either not show up or be late. He said when he sets something up with Render, he's there right when he says he will, gives him all the time.
Wow.
Not that that's a big deal, other, plays and stuff. Not plays, but names.
Halftime you use the restroom, right?
Yeah,
Closest one down there.
down there it is. Yeah. Oh, thanks, thanks. AJ had a big game yesterday. Yeah, good job.
I saw Sorsdale, right?
Yeah, Casey.
He had a nice kick the
He
other day.
did. Yeah.
40-yarder.
Was it 40?
I thought it was 42. I thought.
Wow. Okay.
I could be wrong.
He missed one from 39. I thought it was from 37, but
Well,
forget the
hey, go.
stats.
You go. I just
Okay.
thought I remembered seeing that.
study.
Yeah, he
Said you shouldn't be here, you should be studying.
Of course you did. Why am I not surprised? You did one job. One job to get assigned. You lost it. Pencil, now you get zero.
Ladies and gentlemen, we proudly present the 2018-2019 Mount Lebanon Blue Devil Marching Band.
Well, it made it home?
Under the field direction of drum majors Lily Cuban and Isaac Burton Perez.
Didn't know.
No, that's right. That was incredible. It was great having Joey Porter in with us, too.
Well, that's funny. I'm like, they have no option. I don't think they had an option. Right?
I wanted to know Denver's going to come out.
Yeah. I was like, I couldn't still. I go, what are they doing? But it was Living Down for it.
Yeah.
Just let anybody in, right? That was a weird night.
Yeah, it was. It was kind of like Michael Crosby. I thought offensively that was their best.
I agree. First half. First half, absolutely.
And then, first play, the second half, Seth has that, 60-yard run and actually holding Tennessee just the back.
And then you know what? I said it was a sloppy game on both sides, especially the first half. It was sloppy. But yeah, they had another. They had runs on runs. Two fullbacks, three.
Yeah, you say
Number three ran all the way, and then
yeah,
he called
I've
back.
never seen a game where that many yards got counted by.
Yeah,
The way he
probably
got counted by.
120
Easily, yeah.
maybe more. I mean, just from big plays.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, I didn't talk to you, but I was a fan of Sam catch and then run into the end zone. That was awesome.
Thanks. I was excited for that one.
Now please direct your attention to the 50-yard line, where the class of 2019 homecoming parade will begin. The chamber choir will perform our national anthem, and the triple trio will sing the Mount Lebanon High School alma mater. Both ensembles are directed by Ethan LaPlaca. Please rise, and gentlemen, please remove your hats.
Thank you for joining us on this special occasion for our senior class.
We want to thank the faculty and staff members who put tonight's homecoming celebration together. They include Mr. Chesowich and the high school's band. We also want to thank the PTSA parent volunteers, Mrs. Gazelko, Mrs. Tubbs, Mrs. Walker, our principal, Mr. McFeely, Unit Superintendent Mrs. Dean, Mr. Brogan, Mr. McGregor, Mr. Constable, Mrs. Dempsey, Mrs. Colco, and all our fellow classmates who are carrying the banners tonight.
And now the homecoming parade will begin. We have the freshman class leading the class councils.
Is that right? Surprises you.
Next is the sophomore class. And now the junior class. And now the senior class of 2019.
At this time, we would like to announce the class of 2019 homecoming court.
Teresa Bembas and Isaac Gordon Perez.
What's that name?
Bridget Cassidy, escorted by Justin Duda.
Tuda. Hoagland's so big he's got 2 escorts.
Audrey Desneen and Kelly Donis, escorted by Nate Hoagland.
RJ. Howdy, baby Ryan.
Phoebe Connell, escorted by Ryan Silverman.
Say Ryan.
Joy Keating, escorted by Nikolai Bandos.
Let's play this by ear, but we'll probably go at 5.
Okay.
Rebecca Schwartz, escorted by Charles Merriman.
Eva Ruby Dunn, escorted by Tim Walters.
You Timmy.
The Mount Lebanon High School class of 2019 homecoming queen is
No, I'm good. I'm good. You want anything, Dave?
I'm good, thanks.
Deli waggle right. Tell Greg.
Phoebe Connell.
Oh.
Write that down. Phoebe Connell. Phoebe Connell.
The Mount Lebanon High School class of 2019 homecoming king is Ryan Silverman.
That's it, Ryan.
Walking on air.
That's awesome. Good evening and welcome, Mount Lebanon football fans, to Mount Lebanon Stadium, a beautiful night in southwestern Pennsylvania for a renewal of one of the all-time great South Hills rivalries. Two historic football programs are going to square off this evening. In about 7 minutes, we'll have kickoff. It's homecoming here in Mount Lebanon, where the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils take on the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Legendary coach Jim Render rolls in with a 5-1 Panther team playing in section or conference 5A. Mount Lebanon returns home after beating Butler last week at 3-3, competing in the 6A conference. Long time and voice of Blue Devil announcing Denny Postufka is actually out this evening. He is sick at home. Denny, we really miss you. You're 95% of this broadcast team and the engine that makes Mount Lebanon broadcast go. Hope you feel better. As many of you know, Denny is the statistician also for Pitt football. He'll be at the Pitt game tomorrow at noon. He needed to rest up tonight, so thinking about you, Denny, on homecoming night here and miss you. But we have a more than capable replacement. Dave Franklin is with us, and Dave Franklin will be helping me during this broadcast doing the color commentary. Let's hand it over to Dave for some comments about this Upper St. Clair team.
First off, Brian, I can't imagine having bigger shoes to fill than Denny's. But and the old football mantra is the next man up. So I'm here and I'm happy to help you out. So Upper St. Clair comes in with a very balanced offense, Brian. They can run it, they can throw it, and they can catch it. Antonio Orsini averages 100 yards a game, 4 touchdowns. They're led by their quarterback, senior Jason Sweeney, who's thrown for 115 yards, 9 touchdowns, coupled with 6 interceptions. He averages 135 yards a game. But they get a lot of their action from the Pantelis brothers. Chris is a senior, David's a sophomore. They've combined for 611 yards receiving and 7 touchdowns. So it's a very well-balanced offense. Mount Lebanon's going to have to cover all aspects of the field, up the middle and down and vertically. So I hope they're ready.
Should be a great challenge for the Blue Devils. We've seen the Blue Devils be able to open it up last week on offense. Seth Morgan is really what makes the Mount Lebanon offense go. The senior signal caller at quarterback had a great game last week, both running and passing the football. His primary target on offense is Lucas DeCaro, the senior second-team all-conference wide receiver. Lucas has 2 injured shoulders. He will not be playing defense tonight, but is going to gut it out and play offense. You can look for Seth to look for Lucas in the slot a lot early to get that offense going. At running back, we'll have probably 3 running backs carrying the ball for Lebo. The senior Michael Palmer, all-conference defensive player. Everett Lefevre, who's been a nice surprise at running back. And, of course, Drew Vaughn, the junior running back, who's had a nice season as well.
Brian, as we talked about before the game, both teams come in with 12 turnovers, averaging about 2 a game, equally balanced between picks and fumbles. So no doubt neither team turns the ball over a lot, but I think that might control the outcome of this game just a bit.
Very good point, Dave. In a rivalry game, it's usually going to come down to a turnover or 2. I really don't feel Mount Lebanon and the Blue Devils have played their best game yet this season. We're 6 games into the season. This might be the night where we see offense, the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils put it together both offensively and defensively. This is a much improved Mount Lebanon team defensively. I expect them to be in a 3-5. That's what they call their stacked defense with 3 down linemen. They will be missing Cam Powers, the senior defensive end this evening. Filling in for Cam will be Michael Frolino, team captain number 71, will likely start at defensive end. But for a first this season, we may also see starting right tackle Tommy Peters also get some snaps on the defensive side of the ball.
Upper St. Clair has just taken the field. They certainly seem fired up. And I have a feeling that Coach Melnick's going to bring these boys in blue and gold out all fired up, because if you can't get fired up for Mount Lebanon and Upper St. Clair, you just can't get fired up.
You're absolutely right, Dave. Although these teams have not played each other in 2 years, these kids grow up playing against Upper St. Clair and Mount Lebanon, whether it's travel basketball, travel baseball, it's lacrosse. Look, if it's checkers between Mount Lebanon and Upper St. Clair, it's going to be an intense game.
And it's interesting, as we looked at the rosters before preparing for the game tonight, I saw so many names on the Upper St. Clair roster, to your point, that I know from baseball and lacrosse. And it's just so exciting to see these kids on this stage getting the opportunity to perform for their family and their friends and their communities, because I think you can throw all the records out the window. You can throw what conference you're in, how many A's you got by your name. This is Mount Lebanon and Upper St. Clair, and these kids just want to win this game tonight.
Yeah, you know, we could talk about the backyard brawl between Pitt and West Virginia. Well, this is truly a backyard brawl. These two communities mirror each other in a lot of ways. Great academic traditions, great athletic traditions, and they share Route 19 together as well. So it should be a slugfest from start to finish. And of course, the legendary Coach Jim Render, over 400 wins.
And interestingly, on a weekend where the Mount Lebanon School District is honoring Art Walker as part of the Hall of Champions induction this weekend. So I'm guessing that Art might be somewhere in the building tonight, as well as many of his Whippeal Championship players from the 80s and even predating the 80s.
Yeah, incredible run Coach Walker had at Mount Lebanon, really the apex of the Mount Lebanon football program in the 80s. You know, nationally ranked program, so many high Division I recruits coming out of Mount Lebanon, including NFL players as well. And here comes the Lebo football team out of the locker room, led by Mason Ventrone, the all-conference cornerback who had a big game last week up at Butler.
And before we forget, Brian, tonight is homecoming at Mount Lebanon, and we would be remiss if we didn't mention that Phoebe Connell was elected your homecoming queen, and my man Ryan Silverman took home the crown. So congratulations to Phoebe and Ryan. You represent this community extremely well. Congratulations.
Two great selections for homecoming king and queen. Congratulations to both. For Upper St. Clair, their team captains are number 13, the senior Chris Pantelis, who plays wide receiver and cornerback. Number 24, Colin McClendon, who plays linebacker and running back. And number 99, big Harvey Roush, 6'2", 205, tight end and defensive end. For Mount Lebanon brings 5 captains out. Michael Farlino peels off because they can only actually bring 4 to the middle of the field. Seth Morgan, number 1, Timmy Walters, 25, Michael Palmer, 26, and Lucas DeCaro, 5. Dave, who do we have as honorary team captain for the Blue Devils?
We know that William Long is one of the honorary team captains. We were not given the name of the second, but
all right.
I'm sure that young man is excited nonetheless.
I'm sure, and William Long is the son of Chris and Leslie Long, 2 great members of the Mount Lebanon community and active in the Youth Football Association as well. Good to see them out here. Oh, interesting. It looks like Mount St. Clair won the toss and it did not choose to defer, but rather choose to receive. They want to take the ball. Mount Lebanon will be kicking from the south end zone into the north end zone. So if you're watching at home, that is from left to right. Mount Lebanon will be kicking off into the scoreboard section.
I have to give you credit. I've lived in Mount Lebanon for 51 years, and I'm still not sure which is the north and which is the south end zone, because I've always thought they ran east to west.
They may very well run east to west, but we refer to as north to south when we're doing the broadcast. So tonight's officials, we've got referee Bill Heidkamp, umpire Jim Conley, linesman John Dudo, line judge Brian Long, side judge Jerry Lavelle, and field judge Mike Marshuziak. So those are the night's officials. Let's hope we don't hear much from them this evening. It is 7:30, and we are ready for kickoff. A renewal again of one of the all-time great South Hills football rivalries, 2 storied programs. I remember Coach Melnick's first season, played St. Clair at the end of the season at St. Clair. And of course, a great game, came down to the last play of the game. And Mount Lebanon had Roth at quarterback, who had an incredible season, an incredible game.
And I will still remember it was the game. The opening.
All right, so we've seen Mount Lebanon squib kick it a lot. Their Casey Sorsdale squib kicks it again. And St. Clair will start out with excellent field position at their own 45-yard line, tackled by a host of Blue Devils.
Jaden Keating on the return. It's an interesting strategy, Brian. I'm not sure I understand it, but, you know, eventually you want to see him try and kick deep as opposed to letting him always start at the 45.
So as we predicted, Mount Lebanon starts with a 3-man front. They deploy 5 linebackers. Rosie Palmer, the senior, over the nose. St. Clair comes out throwing plenty of time. And he completes the pass right over the middle to number 12 for Upper St. Clair.
Number 13.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's Chris Pantelis.
Looked like a 12.
Jason Sweeney makes the pass, had plenty of time to throw on the coverage and tackle all-conference cornerback Mason Ventrone.
So right out of the chute, we get the oldest Pantelis brother.
Jason Sweeney looked comfortable back in there, had plenty of time. Mount Lebanon only rushed 3, brought the linebacker late.
Orsini.
Runs to the right side. Tackle, it looks like, by number 10, Evan Jones. Also, Rosie Palmer on that as well.
It's really been fun watching Palmer develop. Rosie.
Yeah, it has.
Not to be confused with Michael. He's become, I think, in the last, over the course of the season, has really, exposed himself as being able to play the position very quick, very nimble.
He's gotten better each week, that's for certain. St. Clair deploys 3 wide receivers on the run. Nice open field tackle by Jones. Number 21, that's Antonio Orsini. Rips off the left side. Manages to pick up the first down. Upper St. Clair driving. That's their second first down. They're at the 30-yard line, 1st and 10, with 10 minutes and 30 seconds left in this first quarter. First drive of the game. Panthers already into Mount Lebanon Blue Devil territory.
Orsini's carried the ball 100 times this year, so he's averaging a little less than 20 yards or 20 carries a game movement.
Yeah, it looks like a false start, Dave. And that's what it's going to be. That'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Panthers, moving back to the 35, where it'll be first down and 15. For Mount Lebanon, the difference will really be up front. They need big plays from number 55, J.B. Nelson, defensive end, Division I recruit. Expecting a big game from him. He's also steadily improved as the season has gone on. Their playmaker on defense is really the senior all-conference player, number 26, Michael Palmer. Michael's had a great season, always in the right place, great open field tackler. On the corners, you've got senior Charlie Gordon and junior Mason Ventrone. Safety, Jack Sullivan. You've got Palmer back. Mount Lebanon blitzes.
Good defense by Michael.
Yeah, Jason Sweeney looks to try to hit again out of the backfield. Colin McClendon. Pass defended by the senior all-conference player, Michael Palmer. Nice job by Michael there. It'll be 2nd down and 15 for the Panthers. Dave, we talked about the linebackers. It's good to see Ben Greenwood back in. He returned 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
He was suffering from a knee injury. Senior. He also plays H-back. That'll help tonight because Cam Powers, besides playing D-end, also plays H-back. So we should see Ben in there a lot on offense too. Leo blitzes, and they pick it up the whole time. Nice job. Oh, ball down. Boy. Nice job by, I think Jake Rolfson got Jason Sweeney first for the sack.
Rolfson.
I'm sorry, Sam Rolfson. Jake's older
his
brother.
Older brother, right.
Yeah.
Well,
Who was a heck of a football player,
too. He was a good football player in his own right. But Orsini picked up Rolfson up the middle on the blitz, but, Sam shed it well and was able to get back there. And ever since that false start, Brian, the Panthers have been going backwards.
Yeah, that's a 3rd down and 23 for the Panthers at the Mount Lebanon 43-yard line. Again, Sweeney had some time there. Good coverage by the Mount Lebanon D-backs. They sent three receivers out. Right now, St. Clair deploys 4 wide receivers, no tight end, 1 running back, and they run the ball, hole up the middle.
Going to get part of it back.
Good tackle. Oh my gosh, that was not a late hit.
Wow, not what Mount Lebanon needed there. They had him 4th and long, and it looked like Michael Palmer came in with the late hit. I'm not sure if it was too egregious, but everybody in the crowd liked the call. We're, of course, on the St. Clair side of the field.
Boy, anything close to the head these days is going to call. They're going to call that a penalty. That's a 15-yard personal foul penalty. I do not believe it's an automatic first down, so I think it'll bring up an interesting 4th and probably 2.
It's not an automatic first down. I thought personal fouls were always automatic first down.
And you might be right, Dave. Yeah. First down at the 21. Oh, that's a killer penalty.
Wait. You could be right, Brian. You could be right. The Mount Lebanon coaching sideline made a point to the officials that it might not be an automatic first down. and they want those sticks moved back. Yeah.
I'll tell you what,
Now Render wants to voice his
the
opinion.
officiating this season has been suspect, to say the
Brian,
least.
you are
And
exactly right.
I don't blame it on the officials.
They're changing the box
but, I
back
mean,
to fourth
they
down.
have got to get this straightened out at all levels of football. It is really making it tough to watch these games. So that is correct. It is fourth down and 1 at the 21-yard line.
This is the 7th play of the St. Clair drive to start the game.
A nice opening drive for the Panthers with 9:02 left. It's 0-0. First big decision of the game. Upper St. Clair Panthers facing a 4th and 1. It looks like St. Clair is going to go for it based on the personnel they've deployed so far. Don't know much about the Upper St. Clair kicking game.
Try and find that, Brian.
For high school,
I'm sure Denny studied this for a week. I called into service when Denny called 911.
So they're going for it, Dave. They bring in their tight end, 99, Rauch. He's lined up to the right. Handoff.
Oh, met at the line and taken down. Great stop by Mount Lebanon. A band of Blue Devils.
Wow. Slow developing play there.
Very slow. Considering the last 3 or 4 plays, Brian, St. Clair went with the quick snap.
Right,
and,
Dave.
And seemed to be getting Mount Lebanon on their heels. That one was a little slow, which gave the Blue Devil defenders about 3 or 4 of them. I mean, he was hitting the backfield. The first contact was in the backfield, and he never had a chance.
So, look, they ran it behind their senior strength. That Quinn Murray at right guard, Jake Slinger at right tackle, and Rauch at tight end. Mount Lebanon would not be stopped. They were running right at J.B. Nelson, the big junior defensive end. Busted through the line, held the play up. Nice job by the Lebo linebackers attacking the line of scrimmage. Mount Lebanon deploys 5 wide receivers, no running back. Seth Morgan in shotgun. Not surprised to see Seth in shotgun. Very rare that he's ever under center.
Oh, there was contact that looked like incidental.
There was, yeah.
Sam Lesotho was definitely tripped up at about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, again, Seth had plenty of time to throw. Looked like he might have been held a little bit, but no call there. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Mount Lebanon, their hurry-up offense. You will not see them huddle as they start the game here. Again, deploying 5 wide receivers, no running back. Look for DeCaro in the slot.
Oh, there was definitely contact before the ball.
No call. Again, that's 2 strikes to Lesotho, the slot receiver. You know, I think Seth, to start the game, likes to go to those slot receivers. We saw them come out against NA and have a lot of success attacking the slot receivers. Coverage was tight on that play. This will be 3rd and 10. Mount Lebanon has struggled early in games in the first quarter, getting their offense in sync. It'd be nice to pick up a 1st down. Of the 6 games we've played this season, Mount Lebanon has trailed 7-0 in 5 of the 6 games.
Makes you look for Seth to maybe tuck it and run here.
You're right. And that's a 3 and out. Seth, nice run, but not enough for the 1st down. He picks up, it looks like 6 yards.
Would have liked to kept this Panther potent offense a little longer on the sideline, but
yeah, it'll be important to cover this kick. You've got Chris Pantelis, the senior, back deep. Charlie Gordon's had an excellent season, the senior punting. Charlie also plays cornerback, number 22. Long snapping to Charlie is senior Tim Walters, number 25. Snap goes back. Kick is off. That's going to bounce.
Hopefully get a Blue Devil bounce here. Oh, we will.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Big kick by Charlie Gordon. Wow, he just destroyed that. And that's something we've seen a lot this season. We've not seen the punt returners run up and catch the balls. They've preferred to let it bounce, giving the coverage team time to get down and then down the ball. That ball's downed all the way inside the 14-yard line. A booming kick by senior Charlie Gordon.
Well covered.
He's likely going to be an all-conference punter this season for the Blue Devils. Well done by Charlie. This will be the 2nd drive for the Upper St. Clair Panthers with 7:36 remaining. The score is Mount Lebanon 0, St. Clair 0. St. Clair takes over at their 14-yard line with a 1st down and 10. Mount Lebanon remains in their 3-man front, deploying 5 linebackers and 3 defensive backs. Interesting. St. Clair now spreads them out, goes with 4 wide receivers, 1 setback, no tight end.
Unbalanced on the far side, don't they, Brian? Wow, they're going to move one into the. What a
Oh, nice play. There's
Tommy
the
McLean.
senior. Wow, Tommy McLean, what a season he's had. He had 2 more sacks last week. They don't come much tougher than him. Really just a kid who's grinded through this program and having an outstanding season at linebacker.
He is a true, gritty kid. That play almost epitomizes Tommy McLean as a football player. He's going to go down the line, make the tackle. Nothing flashy. He just does his job, and he does it really well. And I think people underestimate how strong and how fast he is.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we've got, looks like man coverage. We're locked up. Jason Sweeney drops back to pass.
Plenty of time. Good
Oh,
coverage.
nice coverage. Boy, that's junior Sam Rolfson having a very nice game at linebacker already. Excellent coverage on that play. Jason Sweeney had time to throw. It was going to be a quick out, but Sam Rolfson closed on it. That's usually a matchup you'd probably like. You got your linebacker split out all the way to the side. I can see why St. Clair tried to attack the perimeter. Great play by Rolfson, the junior.
Orsini's five carries for 19 yards.
Boy, another big third down, Dave. Third down and 10.
Need to
Let's
get off
see
the
what the
field
Mount
here,
Lebanon
Brian. They
defense
switched
does.
the field on that great
Yep.
Charlie Gordon punt. It'd be nice to see a stop here.
See if Coach Melnick dials up a blitz. Oh, they're going to pass, halfback pass.
I think he's either
Oh,
right.
I
Hard
think
to
he's
see
short.
with the St.
I
Clair
think he's short,
sideline,
Dave.
but they had to
They're
get to
calling
the 24.
fourth down. It's fourth down. Question is just how short is it? They're not moving the sticks. It's fourth down.
Move fourth down. The referee's got the fist in
Oh.
the air.
Nope. They gave it to him.
Oh,
First down. Ah,
wow. Without even a measurement.
I think they pitched back to the running back, I think, and
I'm
the
a
running
little-
back
I'm a
threw
little
it.
confused, Brian. That drive started inside the 14, and they're getting the ball inside the 24. Doesn't quite add up to 10 yards.
No, it doesn't. Again, Mount Lebanon deploying 3 down linemen, 5 linebackers. They blitz the linebacker up the middle. There's a big hole
Orsini.
there.
Oh,
Yeah. Wow.
looked like J.B. Nelson had a shot
He
out of
had
it in
him.
the backfield, and he didn't get enough of
Boy,
the jersey.
Dave, they were lucky there. Had Orsini cut to the left a little earlier, we had blitzed both middle linebackers. There was nobody in the middle of the field. Nice job of hanging on and bringing that player down, or that could have been ripped for a big play up the middle against the Blue Devils. So right now we've seen Coach Melnick dial up the run blitz on first down, bringing those middle linebackers into the A-gaps.
Well, we still have an opportunity to take advantage of that Charlie Gordon 58-yard punt.
Yeah, incredible.
We definitely
St. Clair
switched
moves
the
out
field.
to the 29-yard line. Sweeney drops back to pass, looks deep,
he's
into
deep
double
over
coverage.
everybody.
Wow. So, Dave, so far we have seen Sweeney with a lot of time back there so
lot
far,
of time.
but frankly, not a lot of people open for this St. Clair offense.
Amazingly, given the success that they've had throwing the ball up until today, they seem to be, they throw a lot deeper passes than I would have expected, given the fact that they've got a couple weapons, including Orsini, who's got the ball for, I think, a couple 100 yards out of the backfield.
All right, Dave, so here we go. It's another big third down and 6 for the Upper St. Clair Panthers at their 29-yard line. There's 5:14 remaining in the first quarter. After the incomplete pass, the clock is stopped. The play clock is now at 5 seconds as Sweeney's in shotgun. Sweeney drops back to pass. Plenty of time. Oh, missed tackle. That's trouble. And
prior to that play, Brian, Sweeney was 2 of 5 for just 37 yards, and all of that came on the first drive.
wow. Sweeney finds the younger Pantelis, David Pantelis, the sophomore, in the flat. He makes one person miss, and then probably 12 yards after the catch on the run, interestingly tackled downfield by defensive end J.B. Nelson. Good to see J.B. hustling. Good tone setter there. And St. Clair gets their second first down of this drive. They've moved it all the way out to the Upper St. Clair 46, threatening to break into Blue Devil territory. Mount Lebanon blitzes, wide open. And tackled on the sideline. Tackled by Jack Sullivan and Michael Palmer along the sideline. That's David Pantelis, another Upper St. Clair first down.
The sophomore
Again,
broke free over the middle. No one near him.
No, he was not. He came from the other side, ran across the field, wide open completion. Again, Sweeney getting plenty of time to survey the field, and now Upper St. Clair is starting to break wide receivers open against this Mount Lebanon defensive
I think that
secondary.
I think the end of that play hurt Pantelis a little bit. He's a little slow moving. The St. Clair sideline wanted a unnecessary roughness call in the tackle.
They bring McClendon in motion, roll out by Sweeney. He's got a receiver down the middle of the field, turn Michael Palmer.
Did he hang on? He did hang on. What an amazing catch.
Beautiful pass. Beautiful pass. Went right over the senior Michael Palmer on one-on-one coverage. Michael was a little late turning his head there.
Yeah.
And Upper St. Clair strikes first. Nice pass by Jason Sweeney. Panthers strike first in this rivalry game. It's 6-0 with 4:28 remaining.
I think you called it, Brian. Michael had great coverage. He just turned around a second too late.
Extra point is
Extra
up and
point
through.
is good. Sean Martin.
Jason Sweeney, the holder. That is a big drive for Upper St. Clair. Let's remember Charlie Gordon had punted the ball deep
58-yard punt.
into St. Clair territory. They go, I believe that's a 92-yard drive, Dave, on the Blue Devil defense. A couple big third down conversions by St. Clair as well. They're going to have to find a way to get more pressure on Jason Sweeney. He's starting to look very comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yeah, I think it was all in. It was about an 86-yard drive, but they had to go a little further because Mount Lebanon did have a couple plays for stops.
Yeah,
so what? Just there's a theme here. You know, Mount Lebanon's doing a good job on first and second down. And on third down, they had a costly penalty on the first drive and then a long gain here on this pass drive. 8 plays, 86 yards, Brian.
Boy, 8 plays, 86 yards, and in only 3 minutes and 8 seconds, the Upper St. Clair Panthers strike first in this rivalry game. It's 7-0. Upper St. Clair will be kicking off from the north end zone into the south end zone. Back deep for the Blue Devils is senior Michael Palmer, number 26, and junior number 2, Drew Vaughn.
It's going to be important to answer here, Brian. Even if we don't put points on the board, we've got to hold the ball.
Yeah, that defense has already been on the field quite a bit. High kick.
Short kick.
Cannot let that
Somebody
bounce.
better get on that.
An excellent return by the senior Michael Palmer. He takes it up and returns it all the way to the 28-yard line. Let's call it the 29, where the Blue Devils will take over for their second series of the game. First down and 10 from the Mount Lebanon 29-yard line.
I don't know if that pooch kick was planned, but I'm sure the St. Clair coaches saw something with how the Mount Lebanon formation had the 2 deep back. I mean, they had to come up a good 15 yards to field that kick. We might see that later.
Here we go. We now see Ben Greenwood in at H-back. He's split. He goes in motion, comes in tight. Run by Seth Morgan. Nowhere to go.
Nothing.
Might be a loss of 1. No gain. Tackled by the senior from Upper St. Clair, number 24, Colin McClendon, a very good all-around football player. They ran to the side where Ben Greenwood was at H-back, likely trying to get a block.
I'm not sure if that was supposed to be a bubble screen to Lesotho because he did not move.
They bring Lesotho in motion. No one there.
Come on, Chandru.
Yeah. Look, well defended by Upper St. Clair. 3 Panthers there on the perimeter. No blocking on that particular play on the outside. And again, Mount Lebanon faces their second third down and 10 of the game. Let's call it a gain of 1, so 3rd and 9. Mount Lebanon, their typical no-huddle offense. 3:24 remaining in this first quarter. St. Clair in a 3-man front. They blitz the linebacker, number 50.
Oh, down the sideline at Timmy
Keep running,
Walters.
Timmy. Got to keep running, buddy.
Overthrown.
Yep.
Good coverage.
So tough start for the Blue Devils.
6 plays offensively. That's it.
6 plays in 1 yard. That's not going to get it done. Blue Devils need to come in sync offensively. Charlie Gordon back to punt again. Tim Walters snapping from the 30-yard line. Pantelis back deep. It'll be important for this Blue Devil offense to cover the punt.
Starting 0 for 3, 2 3-and-outs. Not the start the Blue Devils wanted.
No, although I'll tell you, Mount Lebanon is accustomed to being in. Boy.
We're going to have a flag for illegal formation. We had
and short
Mason
punt.
Ventrone running off the sideline. Never got set.
Boy,
One thing I never understood, Brian, if you don't know you're on the punt team or the kick team.
Yeah, it's hard to explain. They've been pretty healthy this week too, so I don't think there's been a lot of changes on their special teams unit, although I haven't been at practice. But that's likely going to be against the Blue Devils. See if Coach Render makes Mount Lebanon punt it again.
Mason almost, well, it wasn't a good kick to begin with, so.
No, and that's
Mason
rare for
almost got hit
Charlie.
in the head with the snap as he came flying in from the sideline.
Oh, that would have
joined
been
in the booth here by Mount Lebanon legend Paul Lang, Brian.
that would have been disastrous. Paul Lang, a giant amongst Mount Lebanon alumni, played at
Literally
Michigan.
and figuratively.
That's right. Played at Michigan State. Incredible career there as a tight end. Caught a big touchdown pass against Michigan at Michigan, I recall. And just a great family as well. A family of great athletes too.
Looks like Render's going to keep that kick. Like I said, it was a kind of a shank, not nearly the 58-yard boomer that Charlie had after the first possession.
Oh boy, Dave, here we go. St. Clair already starting this drive, their third drive in Mount Lebanon territory at the 42-yard line. A tall test for this Mount Lebanon defense.
We probably had a net 12-yard punt when it's all said and done.
Need a stop here. Big hole.
Orsini up the middle.
Yeah.
I think what we saw there is you're not going to bring him down with an arm tackle. You got to wrap him up.
Yeah, I'm not certain where the linebacker was on that play. Ferlino took a charge upfield through the outside shoulder of the tackle. They ran kind of into the B gap, has sealed off the inside players, and a big hole for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. This is typical St. Clair Panther football. Nothing fancy, they like to run between the tackles. They've got a big, solid offensive line. They pull the guard. Nice arm tackle there by J.B. Nelson. That's at least his third tackle of the game. He brings down 21 Orsini, who picks up 2 yards where it'll be 2nd down and 8. But again, Panthers threatening already in Mount Lebanon territory at the 13-yard line, facing a 2nd down and 7.
Like he's throwing up. Antonio Orsini just lost whatever he had for lunch at the St. Clair cafeteria.
Yeah,
you know, he has had a history of concussions, Brian, and I don't want to speculate, but he walked back to the huddle.
Oh, boy.
He walked back to the huddle a little woozy, motioned to the sideline, grabbed his knees, and then, excuse the description, started to throw up, and he's making his way to the St. Clair bench. He's shaking off the trainer. We'll see. He's not done yet.
Hate to hear that, Dave.
I know. I don't want to speculate, but
hopefully it's just a stomach issue for him and not anything with regard to his head. He's a heck of a ball player, having a nice game so far.
Speaking of stomach issues, I want to give a shout out to, you said at the start of the game, Denny Pastufka. He's so good at what at doing this. It was, I think, his brainchild, and you put it together. And Denny's done so much for athletics in Mount Lebanon, and guys like that come around once in a generation. And what he does for all different sports, and particularly the football program, is unparalleled in my opinion. So we hope you get well, Denny. And you might have to fight me for this spot when you come back. I kind of like this.
Appreciate you being up here with us, Dave. And yeah, we do miss Denny. Here we go. Upper St. Clair facing a 2nd down and 8. And again, they run it to McClendon. McClendon tackled by number 31, Tommy McLean. Expect to be calling Tommy McLean's number a lot. Colin McLean's a handful to take down too. Very skilled running back. Picks up 2 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 6. This has been a bugaboo for Mount Lebanon's defense so far in this game. They've given up at least 3 3rd down conversions already.
Is that Orsini bent over at the knees again, or is that
no? That's McClendon. Orsini's coming back in.
So
we can assume it's not a head injury for Orsini.
Our second St. Clair running back.
Interesting to see what Coach Melnick does here. They're in a 3rd and 6, whether he'll blitz those linebackers. St. Clair deploys 4 wide receivers. They've got 1 running back. This is likely an illegal procedure on Upper St. Clair.
Game, I think, Brian.
Oh, good call, Dave. Play clock was down to 0. So for those listening at home, it's Upper St. Clair 7, Mount Lebanon 0, 1:36 remaining in the first half. Upper St. Clair facing now a 3rd down and 11 after the 5-yard delay of game penalty.
I think that delay of game was prompted by the fact that St. Clair's still having trouble getting an 11th guy in the huddle. 2-3 plays in a row where one of their running backs has been buckled over at the knees. Orsini, as you said, is back out. USC only has 2 penalties for 10 yards. Mount Lebanon probably double that.
Oh, again, a lot of time. Boy, nice tackle by the senior Michael Palmer.
Michael Palmer.
Again, that is where you see Michael Palmer in open field. Perhaps their shortest tackler, has been for 2 seasons. The all-conference defensive back comes up big there. It's a 4th down and 7 for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Clock running with 1:15 left in the first quarter. Another decision for legendary coach Jim Render.
I think he might be looking to one of the Pantelis brothers here, Brian. I'm not sure he's got too much faith in Orsini or McClendon just yet.
Ball's on the left hash. They deploy both Pantelises to the left, bring McClendon into the left. They run. Oh, he's going to go back the other way.
Nothing's there. Just
nice
throws it
job
away.
by Mount Lebanon's defense. Well done on the rush. Rosie Palmer and Michael Ferlino.
On a great,
Michael Ferlino's
a great
down.
job by JB.
Yeah.
He read that play and ran out to catch Orsini in the flat.
I didn't see who that was.
Yeah,
Was that
it was
JB? Excellent, because that's what they were trying to do.
Sweeney looked over there and he was open, and JB filled the spot and put up those hands, and Sweeney thought the better of it and just threw it into the second row.
Hey, one thing you've got to be ready for when you play Upper St. Clair is this is going to be a very well-coached team. They are not going to make many mistakes. They are going to tackle very well. They're going to play very good fundamental football, and then they're going to draw up a couple gadget plays as well and try to pop a couple on you as well.
All right, let's get something going here. Oh, boy.
Jesus.
Oh. I'm not sure that couldn't have been a late hit. There was no reason for that. In high school, he's down when he's got the ball on the ground.
Boy, you know, the senior, number 51, Nathan Hughes, has done a nice job all season. That's really the first bad high snap I've seen from Nathan. And again, Mount Lebanon all the way back to their 10-yard line, facing a 2nd down and 18. Got to be very careful here with 23 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
And this
Play clock is at 17 seconds.
This is the part of the game, Brian, or this is the type of game where you really struggle not having that big running back, that go-to back. We've seen this is our 3rd possession now. I think our only runs so far have been design runs by the quarterback, and that against this well-coached St. Clair defense, just not going to get it done. What a dangerous pass there.
Wow. Nice play right there. I could not tell who caught that, Dave. That was Seth
Rolfson,
Morgan,
I believe.
rolls out right, and I think you're right. We have not seen Sam Rolfson in on offense a lot. That's why it surprised me a little, likely surprised Upper St. Clair a little bit. Seth drops all the way back to his end zone, rolls right, and then looks back opposite field, hitting Rolfson on the run, who picks up a nice 8 yards. Let's call it 3rd down and 8 for the Blue Devils. This will be the Blue Devils' third down. They're 0-2 on 3rd down so far as we head to the second quarter. Score, Upper St. Clair 7, Mount Lebanon nothing. Dave, do we have some announcements tonight?
We do have some announcements tonight, Brian. I think right now on the field they're announcing the 2018 inductees to the great alumni of Mount Lebanon. I'm looking through our list here, and I'm not sure I have their names. But I believe I know Dale Cable is one of the great alumni who's being inducted this weekend, together with the Mr. and Mrs. Conover. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Brian. Dale Cable, class of 75. David Conover, also class of 75, and his wife, Noelle Conover, class of 78. Dr. John Haller, the class of 1958. And Mrs. Shirley Hanson, class of 1954.
Well, congratulations to the great alumni. Some great names there who have contributed mightily to this community since they've graduated from the high school. That's a great tradition that Mount Lebanon does every year, honoring those special alumni with the Great Alumni Award.
And while we have the opportunity, tomorrow night is also the 2nd annual Hall of Champions Gala, where we recognize all of the 2018 inductees into the Hall of Champions, as well as honoring some individuals from past classes. Oh.
All right, so on 3rd down and 6, Mount Lebanon drops back to pass. Seth looks for Rolfson again in the flat, slightly overthrown, and it'll be again another 3 and out for the Blue Devils.
Mount Lebanon has gone 9 plays for 9 yards, Brian.
We're 0-3 on 3rd down conversions. And Dave, we've seen this all season really. Mount Lebanon has a tough time early in games getting their offense going. hard to explain, just have been out of sync. A little bit like the Steelers offensively. Just, you know, one or two things missing, have not really clicked offensively to start games. Another big punt for Gordon. St. Clair actually does rush it. That's a line drive. Oh, my.
Wow.
Oh, big play.
Big play by Mason Ventrone.
And that's why he's an all-conference player. Mason Ventrone, number 12, clean hit on the punt returner, causing the fumble. Wow.
I'm not sure he caused the fumble, but he certainly laid the wood.
Yeah.
I think Pantelis bobbled it, and then Mason finished the job. We'll see if Pantelis is able to go.
Recovered by number 7, sophomore Brody Campbell. Kind of a knack for being close to the ball. Big recovery for the Blue Devils. Big special teams break for the Blue Devils. Mount Lebanon takes over in Upper St. Clair territory the first time tonight. There will be first down and 10 from the 48.
Let's see if that big hit, that turnover, can't get the engines fired up here, Brian. We need something.
Again, Mount Lebanon deploys 3 wide receivers, an H-back, and a running back. Seth, play action fake.
Again.
Looks long. Oh, he has him.
He has him. Oh,
yeah.
Boy, I don't know.
He went to Ventrone. That was the same play they ran last week against Butler for a 78-yard touchdown. That play, Seth, just overthrown Mason. Mason, fastest kid on the team. Jets from the outside. Nice to see them testing that St. Clair Panther defense deep.
That one just missed.
Yeah, it did. Second down and 10 from the 48-yard line in Upper St. Clair Panther territory for the first time tonight.
Great look up the middle from Chandru.
And again, a gain of, let's call it 2 yards. We'll call it 3. It'll be third down and 7 for the Blue Devils at the Upper St. Clair 46-yard line.
Chandru's that type of running back. He just needs one hole, because he's not going to make you miss. He's not going to make you miss behind the line of scrimmage, but, man, if he gets in the open field, you're not going to catch him.
Yeah, I would like to see them get Chandru active running the ball. Mount St. Clair blitzes.
Oh. Seth is now 1 for 7 for just 10 yards.
Yeah. Again, they brought a blitz from the left side. I think Seth felt it coming, might have had to release that pass a little early to avoid the sack. Seth gets the pass off, looks for Lesotho, which has been a frequent target of his early in this game. Pass falls incomplete. Mount Lebanon will punt again for the 4th time this evening. Charlie Gordon's back punting.
So far, he's your MVP.
Tim Walters, the long snapper. Is that Pantelis still back?
Gonna try it again.
Or is that Sweeney back?
I believe that's 13, Pantelis.
Oh. Oh, nice pump
Another
by Charlie.
Great Mount
Jeez.
Lebanon roll.
Incredible job
Inside
by Charlie.
the 15 with 10:56 left in the second. St. Clair still leading 7-0.
You see Charlie Gordon every once in a while do that Australian-style rollout kick. He's had a lot of success with it. There it worked perfectly. One thing I would notice, from the left side, St. Clair is bringing a heavy rush. They might have seen something in the film, but that's 2 punts in a row that it looks like they've tried to rush and try to block. Gordon's gotten them both off.
In fact, on that kick, they did get to Gordon after he hit it, but certainly not enough to draw the flag. But you're right, they did bring two guys from the left side, and I think that's because he has the tendency to swing out that way.
St. Clair deploying 3 wide receivers. Sweeney back in shotgun. Looks, has a receiver open. Yep. Tackle by Palmer, but not before Upper St. Clair picks up 16 yards and a first down.
Seemed to be a little miscommunication there between Palmer and Gordon.
Yeah, what it appears St. Clair likes to do is they line Sweeney up in shotgun, and then he likes to take a small rollout to the right, his throwing side, and then they drag that receiver across, and they've had a lot of success with that so far against this Blue Devil defense. See what Mount Lebanon does to counter that.
See after the play, Charlie and Michael got up and looked at each other. Clearly somebody thought the other was going to be there. Or Senior, it's good to see him back.
Yeah, another tackle by senior number 31, Tommy McLean. Gain of 3 yards. It'll be second down and 7. Orsini carrying the ball a lot for the Panthers. Ball's at the 29-yard line with 9 minutes and 58 seconds remaining in this second quarter. Upper St. Clair leading your Blue Devils 7-0. Mount Lebanon defense remains in its base, call it stack. 3 down linemen, 5 linebackers. They blitz 2 linebackers.
Again, the younger Pantelis.
Tackled again by Michael Palmer at the 40-yard line, but not before Upper St. Clair picks up 9
Sort
yards.
of feel like we're looking at a photocopy machine, Brian. It's the same play over and over and over, and the Blue Devils just can't seem to figure out.
Again, Sweeney's getting a lot of time back there. This is a veteran offensive line for Upper St. Clair, particularly on the right side. You've got very dominant seniors for Upper St. Clair. Mount Lebanon needs to find a way to get pressure with its down linemen. Blitz Rolfson.
Nothing there.
Nice job.
Good job.
Very nice job. Tackle by the senior captain, number 71, Michael Ferlino.
I was going to say Michael just pushed his man into the backfield, and Orsini had nowhere to go.
Yeah, nice job by Tank. We've been watching him do that since first grade in youth football.
Orsini's a little ahead of his season average. He's 10 carries for 50 yards. Pretty halfway through the second quarter. As I said at the outset, he averages just over 100 yards a game.
Boy, and again, the Blue Devil defense is being stressed. They've been on the field a lot already to start this game.
They have been, Brian. I mean, you can just look at some of these down linemen. Their knees on their hands on their hips. There's that down and out again.
Wow. Boy, that nice job by Upper St. Clair picking Mount Lebanon apart on that play. Sweeney rolling out. Might want to think about bringing pressure from the left side. Try to prevent Sweeney from rolling and getting comfortable as he rolls out to that side of the field. So that'll be a 3rd down and 2 for Upper St. Clair Panthers with 8:41 remaining.
They had Brody Campbell in for that play. He couldn't stop it either. He's now off the field.
Upper St. Clair deploys 4 wide receivers. There's illegal procedure. Number 52, Jake Slinger. He's a D1 wrestling recruit. Very strong offensive lineman. He moved early. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. Moving in and making it a 3rd down and 7 for the Panthers. They'll be back to their 43-yard line.
It's like Mason being the corner on the near sideline is certainly taking his share of verbal jabbing from the St. Clair sideline.
Nice job. Nice coverage.
Michael's trying to sell that one. I think if he had taken a step earlier, he might have had a chance because Sweeney and the younger Pantelis were clearly not on the same page on that one.
So, well, Cullen McClendon is a very good running back for Upper St. Clair. I like the matchup of Evan Jones on McClendon. Evan Jones is really probably the most athletic Mount Lebanon linebacker as well. That was a good matchup for us. Back deep is Michael Palmer, the senior, number 26, as Upper St. Clair sets to punt. Oh,
wow.
That's short.
Just no chance to return that
nice
one.
Job.
It was Michael with 10 white jerseys.
Yeah. It did look like Mount Lebanon may have rushed that punt as well, and actually came decently close to being able to block it too. So that's something to watch out for later in the game as well. So Mount Lebanon's still looking to get their first down of the game.
And double-digit yards. I think they're still stuck on 9.
So it's 8:22 remaining in the second quarter. Upper St. Clair leads Mount Lebanon 7-0. Mount Lebanon takes over for its 4th drive of the game at the 31-yard line. Seth Morgan lined up in shotgun. Tommy McLean in at H-back. Chandru Vaughn at running back.
Seth on a keeper
done,
around
Seth.
the left side. It's got some room. There's our first down, Brian. Maybe we should have asked for it earlier.
Hey, nice job by Seth selling the fake to Chandru Vaughn. The linebackers bit on the fake, went right into the hole. That left Seth open to hit the perimeter hard. Maybe that'll get Seth going.
As I look at our statistician spotter, Jack Azor's sheet for Mount Lebanon, looks rather clean compared to the St. Clair sheet. There's Chandru's finding the hole. It's a nifty run.
Nice job by Chandru Vaughn.
You know, there are kids in the community, Brian, that you sort of latch onto as you get to know them over the years, and Chandru's always been a special kid in my opinion.
Yeah, he's a tough kid, super athletic. Expect big things from him, not only this season, but next season as well, as he's a junior. 2nd down and 7 for the Blue Devils.
Last year and this year, earlier, there's been a lot of injuries he's had to overcome. Seth again around the left side.
Yeah, nice. Again, Seth sold the fake pretty well to Chandru. Actually, on that play, I think they would have been better off with Chandru keeping it. It looked like he may have had the edge on the perimeter there, but Seth keeps it. He's 2 yards short of the first down, so it'll be 3rd down and 2. Clock running with 7:23 left in the second quarter. Upper St. Clair 7, Mount Lebanon nothing. Mount Lebanon deploys 3 wide receivers. They have an H-back in over the right tackle.
Chandru's
nice job by Chandru Vaughn. He ran right over Ben Greenwood, the senior, number 48, who was in at H-back over the right tackle, Tommy McLean. Nice job by the right side of that Mount Lebanon offensive line. I said Tommy McLean, I meant Tommy Peters. Excuse me, but no, that was Max Baker and Ethan Tabak they ran over there. Nice job by the 2 junior offensive linemen for Mount Lebanon.
A lot of time for Seth. Sidearms it.
Oh,
to
nice
Timmy
job.
Walters. Great catch, Timmy Walters. Fascinating. I mean, the way that Seth made his way out of the pocket and like a gunslinger, Kenny Stabler style, sidearms it. There's a penalty, Brian?
Of course there is, Dave. Every big play by Mount Lebanon turned around because of a penalty. Incredible. It's been a bugaboo for them this entire season.
Boy, great effort by Seth and a great catch by Timmy. Still no indication of what the call is.
Seth is at his best when he is running outside the pocket and able to create on his own. He is very comfortable doing that. There again, you saw the strength of his arm.
Still no indication of the call. Looks like it might be against St. Clair.
Oh, and there's Coach Render in his usual position out on the field with his hands on his hips.
Whatever, we can't see what the call was. The referee's facing the score box, but holding. Obviously, Mount Lebanon will decline that and take the big gain by Timmy.
Nice job by 2-5. Way to go. Seth in shotgun. Single back. Chandru Vaughn behind him. Ben Green with the H-back. They run it.
Come on, Chandru, get out.
Go, Chandru! Go block, Timmy! Good block!
Well done.
That's it, Timmy! Chandru Vaughn rips it the left sideline. Right down the left sideline, 25 yards. Nice job of blocking by the Blue Devils. And there you see why Chandru Vaughn is in the backfield. He is capable of ripping plays like that. 25 yards for Chandru Vaughn. Blue Devils hit pay dirt, 7-6. Upper St. Clair pending the extra point.
Made possible by 2 back-to-back plays by Timmy Walters. First with the diving catch on the previous down, and on this play, blocking downfield for Chandru, just drove his man down 10, 15 yards. Oh, excuse me, no touchdown.
I'm sorry.
Inside the pylon.
Sorry, guys, we thought that was a touchdown. They call him down at the 2-yard line. 8 seconds on that play clock. Seth, hurry up. Rare to see Seth under center. Bring the H back in motion. Toss.
Pitch to Chandru. Well, let's reset. What do we got now? 2nd and goal on the 1.
Correct. 2nd and goal inside the 1-yard line. Boy, Dave, you don't see Seth Morgan under center very often. And the last 2 games, I don't know that I've seen him under center yet. I like the call. I like trying to get Chandru Vaughn over the right side of that offensive line. They were running behind Ethan Tabak and Max Baer, the 2 junior offensive linemen. Right now we've got a fullback in. And Upper St. Clair drives it in. He's in. Seth Morgan, touchdown. Nice job. They run over the senior, Nathan Hughes, center. Good job by Big Nate Dogg up front.
Aided by Chandru, was not going to let Seth be denied.
Seth Morgan, no shortage of rushing touchdowns this year. Nice to see the senior signal caller take it over as center. Nathan Hughes in left guard.
Well, we get to celebrate twice. That's the benefit of that one.
That is nice. Dave, are they going to the replay booth for this one?
No, I think we have a player from St. Clair who's bleeding. They're making him come off the field. 8 plays, 69 yards. Took up 2:26 of the second quarter, Brian.
Dave, that's what you got to laugh about this Mount Lebanon offense. They have a 69-yard drive, and they get it done in 2 minutes and 26 seconds.
Feast or famine tonight. Holy cow, lot.
What now?
feel like these referees are being paid by the flag.
Oh, offsides on St.
Offsides,
Clair.
a pre-snap,
Defense,
interesting.
correct. They lined up in the neutral zone infraction. Now what does Coach Melnick do here? Ball's at the 3. They'll move it to the 1.5. Dave, would you dare go for 2 right here? No.
Looks like they
The answer is no. The Riverboat Gambler, Coach Melnick, decides to save that one snap.
Again.
And another penalty. A legal procedure on Mount Lebanon. That'll move it back 5 yards. Casey Sorsdale, the sophomore, is the place kicker and extra point kicker for the Blue Devils. His brother Colby having a heck of a freshman year at William & Mary. My goodness, already starting at tackle for William & Mary.
And I don't know if you saw over the weekend, actually I believe it was Coleman Coco matched up with Sorsdale as Colgate met William & Mary this past weekend. Saw some great pictures of the two of them after the game.
So this is a 25-yard extra point kick for the sophomore Casey Sorsdale. Snap low by, oh, he missed it. Oh,
No,
good. Way to go, Casey. Nice job.
He
That
flying
was,
saucered it through.
yeah, hey, great job by the holder. Not a great snap by Tim there. Holder got it down. Casey knocked it through. That's big, Dave. 7-7.
While we have some time, Ryan, tomorrow's JV football game against USC will be at 10 o'clock at Upper St. Clair High School.
Hey, great job by the freshman JV quarterback. That's Joey Daniels. He threw for a bunch of touchdowns last week, I think 4, and ran for 2. Incredible job by the freshman signal caller, Joey Daniels. Look forward to seeing him play at the varsity level.
I watched him at the JV game on Saturday, and the kid certainly has wheels. Congratulations to the girls' tennis team for defeating West Allegheny this week in section play. Congratulations to Bridget Zimmerman and Alexandra Renton for qualifying for the Whitfield Doubles Championships. In addition, a great job by Lauren Masteller and Camilla Butch for winning the section doubles championships and making it to the semifinals of the Whitfield Doubles Championships. The team has qualified for the Whitfield playoffs. Good luck, ladies.
Dave, 5:56 remaining. Mount Lebanon will be kicking off from the 40-yard line, kicking into the south end zone. Casey Sorsdale kicks off. Again, it's a squib kick taken by the third line of Upper St. Clair.
Oh, what a tackle.
Nice tackle by Tommy McLean.
He is as advertised, Brian. I tell you what, you hate to say things like lunch pail and blue collar and all those things, but the kid, he's not flashy. He's not Mr. Popular. He's not the big man on campus, but he comes and he plays his tail off.
Oh, he just laid the wood there. That was form tackling 101 by Chip D'Alessandro up at Foster Field from 1st grade through 6th grade, teaching Tommy McLean to tackle like that.
He just wrapped him up around the belt.
We've now got sophomore Brody Campbell in at cornerback, deploying an extra cornerback. Mount Lebanon blitz. That was holding, and they got it. Wow, Ben Greenwood, the senior, blasts through, takes on the fullback and was held. Otherwise, that would have been a sack. That'll go back 10 yards against the Panthers. Nice job by the senior, Ben Greenwood.
The holding by Orsini, who he's pleading his case to the official, but I still don't think Orsini's 100%, and I'm not sure how he can because he left about 9% on the field in the first quarter.
So interesting, we may have seen the Blue Devil defense make their first adjustment. It looks like they're now deploying an extra defensive back with Brody Campbell checked into the game.
I agree. And Brody's an incredible athlete. He also plays lacrosse for the Blue Devils.
Right, so let's just set this. Now they bring the extra linebacker in, but they were previously going only with 4 linebackers and then 4 D-backs.
Right.
They're now back into their base defense, their stack. 3 down linemen, 5 linebackers, 3 D-backs. Now St. Clair has had a lot of success on first down, picking on this Mount Lebanon defense. Oh, nice job. Boy. And there again, we call it yet again, Tommy McLean, number 31 on the tackle. We've called his name a lot. Boy, we've got Yale offensive tackle Kevin Allen here.
Could be the smallest offensive tackle in the history of college
2-time
football.
All-Ivy League offensive tackle in the booth tonight from Upper St. Clair.
We've got all kinds of with Tyler Blumling, Hall of Champions
and
inductee.
Kevin's classmate Sue Song also now up here from Yale.
We had Paul Lang. We have got everybody.
Good to have him up here with us.
Isn't there any security in this gig, Denny? I mean, what do we have to pay for security?
Oh, nice job by the Blue Devils. Gain of, let's call it 2 yards. It'll be third down and 24 with 4:47 remaining, clock running, score tied 7-7. Let's see what Coach Melnick does here. He looks like they're in their base defense. The stack, 3 down linemen, 5 linebackers, 3 defensive backs. Dave.
I see a big, I'm looking for a takeaway here, Brian. You know they're probably going to throw it. They don't have to get it all here, but.
They blitz Rolfson. Oh, that's trouble, that's trouble, that's trouble.
Boy, what a.
Yeah, nice run, wow.
They spread them and they ran it right up the middle.
Yeah. They brought the blitz from the opposite side. Rolfson blitzed from the left. They ran to the opposite side. Looks like Upper St. Clair will punt.
Like
nice
got about
gain
19 of those back on 3rd and 23.
So that'll leave a 4th down and 3. Coach Jim Render decides to play it safe. Probably the right call in a 7-7 game. 3:50 remaining.
Jason
Michael
Sweeney
Palmer
also does an amazing job. He's got a 35-yard average on the season. Oh,
high snap. High
that
punt.
one's
Come
not
up and
his
catch
best.
it. Come up and catch it.
Watch out for that one.
Nice job, Michael. Great job there, Michael, coming up and catching the ball. The sure-handed Michael Palmer.
3:30 left in the half. Congratulations to the boys golf team for going undefeated in section play. This weekend was the individual qualifier at Oakmont Country Club. Miles Hamill and Hayden Mitchell both participated. And unfortunately, Brian, Hayden Mitchell, who you and I both know is one of the all-time great kids, missed qualifying for the state finals by 1 shot. I can't imagine what it would be like to try and replay the round and figure out where I missed the shot.
Oh, here goes Seth on a shotgun, runs it to the right this time. We've seen him attack that Panther defense on the left side. This time he keeps it himself, goes right, picks up nearly 8 yards. Let's call it 2nd down and 2. Clock stops as Morgan went out of bounds. 3:26 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Mount Lebanon 7, St. Clair 7. I'm sorry, it was a gain of 6, so it'll be 2nd down and 4. Morgan back in shotgun. Mount Lebanon deploying 3 wide receivers. Hands off to Chandru Vaughn, who cuts, spins. Looks like he may have had the 1st down.
Interestingly, Brian, when you watch Chandru in the backfield, he almost rocks a little bit.
Yeah.
A pre-snap.
Yeah.
About the 3rd or 4th time I've noticed him rocking pre-snap. You got to watch. You don't get the motion call.
He has that incredible burst. You know, you can't really teach that. That's kind of God-given. And that's why he's such an incredible threat for the Blue Devils. Here's Lucas DeCaro.
Nothing doing
well,
there.
well played by Mount Lebanon, or by Upper St. Clair there. The linebacker stayed home the entire time. Nice play by the senior captain, number 99, Rauch, for Upper St. Clair as well. Well defended. Dave, interesting too, this game brings back a couple of familiar faces to Mount Lebanon on the Upper St. Clair sideline. Longtime offensive coordinator Mike Junko, and also longtime coordinator Joe Fagora, who was under Coach Herring's staff for many, many years. Now back coaching on the Upper St. Clair sideline. Go Seth. Go Seth.
What a nifty cut by
Yeah,
Seth
nice
to get
job,
1 or 2
Seth.
more yards out of that one.
Yeah.
Chandru did a nice job to pick up.
Yeah,
Nate
again,
Ripley.
Seth looking now very comfortable running the ball, takes it all the way out to the 50-yard line where the Blue Devils will be facing a 3rd down and 5. Let's call it at the 49. Have not quite cracked into Panther territory yet. Clock stopped with 2:22 remaining. Score tied 7-7. Morgan in shotgun. Blue Devils deploy 4 wide receivers, 3 to the right. Chandru Vaughn in the backfield. He goes out on the flat.
Seth looking down over the
he's
middle.
got him.
He floated it though, Brian. Oh.
Yeah.
Had the receiver open. Not Seth's best throw.
He had him. Sam Lasota had got him behind the defense. Seth was rolling to the right, had to stop, set, and kind of throw a little bit of back across field. Boy, here, 4th down and 5. You've got to punt this at 7-7.
Morgan's carried the ball tonight 8 times for 31 yards.
Wow. Wow.
Not sure about this call, Brian.
Interesting. 4th down and 5. The Riverboat Gambler coach Mike Melnick going for it in a tie score. 2:14 left. A lot of confidence in the senior signal caller, Seth Morgan. Blue Devils deploy 4 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. If they're going to throw it here, I'd look for Lucas DeCaro, number 5 in the slot, Morgan's favorite wide receiver. And now Coach Melnick calls a timeout. That's the Blue Devils' first timeout of the first half. They'll have 2 remaining at 2:14. I think Coach Melnick wants to think this over.
And you know, Brian, you're talking about Coach Melnick being the riverboat gambler on 4th and 5, sending your quarterback out on the field who's a 2 for 28 passing tonight. Granted, he's ran the ball 8 times for 31 yards, but I'm not sure if I understand this decision either. I thought maybe he'd get a timeout call out of render, didn't get it.
Dave, I think that's 2 of 9 for 28 yards. Now,
that's why I asked.
The Mount Lebanon Brain Trust
probably the statistician there.
Probably talking it over. Offensive coordinator, co-offensive coordinator is Casey Phillips in his 2nd year, and Andrew Capucci, who also played for Mount Lebanon. Going to see what they do. And no, Mount Lebanon brings out his punt team right now. I think this is the right call, Dave.
Decision. You got to, Charlie's done a good job tonight.
Rivalry game. Blue Devils have to cover this kick. Let's remember, St. Clair has brought pressure from the left side. They stack the left side with 4 rushers.
Kick it deep, play defense, go inside at the half. Doesn't sound like a bad result, and maybe you get a turnover.
Timmy. Oh,
great
nice punt,
by Charlie.
Nice punt,
fair
catch
called for.
Nice
at
job.
the 15. So St. Clair's going to have the ball with 2:06 and 2 timeouts to go in the half. Defense needs to come out here. They're still got to be a little bit gassed, Brian. Just seems they've been out there all night.
Boy, it does, Dave. But the defense has played well. They've made some adjustments. They've now gotten a lot more stout against the run. We've called Tommy McLean's number a lot. We've called Michael Palmer's number a lot. I also think J.B. Nelson has come on strong.
Right, guys who have made plays that don't end up in the stat sheet. J.B. breaking up the would-be first down pass in the flat. There's just a lot of good plays from this defense.
Yeah. Mount Lebanon or St. Clair comes out. They've got a tight end to the left side. Sweeney under center. We haven't seen that a lot tonight.
Nice.
Good run, and wow. Boy, and that's why Dave, J.B. Nelson is Division I recruit. He bowls across the line into the backfield, slams into the running back, Orsini. That's no gain. 2nd down and 10.
And imagine if J.B. played angry. J.B. just doesn't, he is one of the happiest kids you'll ever meet. If you could ever get an attitude on that kid, man, he'd be dangerous.
Clock running, 1:40 left. Ball at the 15-yard line. Upper St. Clair facing a 2nd down and 10. Does not appear to be in a hurry here.
Orsini's already up to 75 yards on 14 carries.
Yeah, he's had a nice game. Oh,
we got to make that tackle.
Yeah, nice job by the.
Got Jack Sullivan in now. I'm not sure he's been in there.
He started the game,
tonight.
Dave.
Has he?
And then they adjusted some. Sweeney, again, we've seen him take that snap, roll slightly to the right, find a wide receiver in the flat. Very effective at that. It's 3rd down and 2, clock running with 1 minute and 2 seconds left. I would think if St. Clair does not get it here, Mount Lebanon will burn a timeout. They've got 2 left.
Almost think this would be a great time for play action, don't you?
Yeah.
Fake it to Orsini and try and go deep.
Yeah, and if they're going to go deep, look to the left. There's got no safety help. Nope.
Going to let Orsini try and get it himself. I can't tell.
Oh, he's going to get it, I think. Yeah, Dave. Yep. So we've seen Upper St. Clair attack the right side of their offensive line, the left side of the Lebo defense. That time they ran left to the Mount Lebanon right side, tackled by a host of Blue Devils, but not before Orsini grinds for a couple yards and gets the first down. Clock continues to run, 29 seconds left in this 2nd quarter. Blue Devils 7, Upper St. Clair 7. St. Clair does not appear to be in a hurry.
Interesting, isn't it, Brian?
9 seconds remaining on the play clock.
I mean, they got the ball with 2 minutes.
18 on the game clock, and they just run it. Oh.
Interesting decision by Render.
Yeah.
He got the ball with 2 minutes and 6 seconds and 2 timeouts, and really is elected to do nothing with it. Happy to go to the locker room with a tie, and I think that's got to fire up Mount Lebanon a little bit.
Absolutely.
They had their backs against the wall. They did very little offensively, and this game's starting out in the 2nd half just the way it started at the beginning.
And let's remember, Mount Lebanon will get the opening kickoff as well. St. Clair won the coin flip, chose to take the opening kick, so Mount Lebanon will get the opening kickoff. If you're Mount Lebanon, you got to be very pleased. You played a horrible first quarter of offensive football.
You had penalties. You had very little production on offense. Your defense played extremely well being out there for a long time on a pretty hot night for the first week of October. You've got some great performance from your punter who's kept you in the game. He's managed to switch the field. And I'm going to come back to this, and who knows, that maybe, Render had an opportunity to step on somebody's throat right there, and he didn't take it. So we'll see how that plays out with Mount Lebanon getting the ball to start the second half.
Very interesting. You look at Mount Lebanon runs into the locker room. St. Clair walking slowly to their locker room.
Right?
Yeah,
almost
again,
looks like they're walking off the field, Brian, like they lost the first half.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what they've done all season long, but it certainly doesn't look like a team who's about to play the second half of the biggest rivalry of their school.
Well, so for those at home, we've got a 20-minute halftime right now. The bands are going to take the field. Let's set the stage. It's Upper St. Clair 7 scoring first in the game. Mount Lebanon evening the score on a Seth Morgan 1-yard touchdown run. The score is 7-7.5. Dave and I are going to cut away, maybe grab a funnel cake at the concession stand, and we'll be back for an exciting second half of football.
We should definitely check our text messages and make sure we figure out how Denny has told us that we've gotten half of things wrong so far.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you in 20 minutes. Go Lebo.
The Buddha performances from the extremely popular Disney Pixar franchise, The Incredibles. Tonight, you will hear the glory days featuring trombone solo Scott Seeger. You will also hear Vice Incredible again, Bob Horst the Omni-Droid, Sandy McCrayville, and The Incredibles. We hope you enjoy our production of The Incredibles.
All right, some first half stats. Sweeney was 10 of 16 for 140 yards. Orsini carried the ball 16 times for 80. McClendon 1 carry for 2. The Pantelis brothers shared 9 receptions. Chris with 3 for 35. David 6 for 101 and a touchdown. McClendon also caught a pass for 2 yards. Sweeney had 2 punts and averaged 24.5 yards. On the Mount Lebanon side, not nearly as much to report. Seth was 2 for 9 for 28 yards. He ran the ball 8 times for 31 yards. Chandru carried the ball 6 times for 37 yards and a touchdown. He was the lone offensive bright spot really in the first half. DeCaro 1 carry for -1. Timmy Walters with that big catch over the middle for 18 yards. Sam Rolfson 1 catch for 10. That makes up the 2 receptions that we had in the first half. And Charlie Gordon 5 punts with a 35-yard average.
Yeah, both defenses battled it out in the second half, or in the first half. Second half will begin with Mount Lebanon receiving the opening kickoff. Mount Lebanon's offense started to kick in the second quarter. Should be a great next 2 quarters of football between these traditional rivals. Also want to give a shout out to my brother-in-law, Tommy Mercine, listening in Darien, Connecticut. Tommy, good evening. Hope you're well.
I think my parents are somewhere between Pittsburgh and Naples, Florida, making their annual trek back to Southwest Florida. I told them to tune in. They're
Good
probably
evening.
sitting in
Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Franklin.
some
Glad you're
hotel
tuning in
somewhere.
too. Saw a lot of old Blue Devils back on the sideline. Great to see people back for homecoming. Big crowd tonight on the Mount Lebanon side of the field.
A lot of kids back too from college. Saw a lot of kids walking around at halftime, former Blue Devil athletes. It's great that this game brings out everybody. And you look at the stands, and it's not a sellout, but man, it's a great crowd for a Friday night football game.
It is.
The teams are doing their best to give them a show. We got 7-7, and again, like we talked to it before we went to the break, it was, not Mount Lebanon's best half offensively, but they're going to get the ball here to start the second half, and St. Clair walked off the field looking like a little defeated. They probably thought they should be up more, and we'll see how these teams answer in the second half, but I think it's going to be a good one.
Dave, we started by saying Mount Lebanon really has not played their best game of the season yet. Now I think it's down to a half. Can we play our best half of the season right now? We're going to need an excellent half of execution against this very well-coached, very disciplined Upper St. Clair team.
Penalty-free would be key.
They are kind of a take-what-they-give-you offense. The Mount Lebanon defense adjusted in that second quarter, deploying an extra D-back to try to take away some of the drags and quick pops that Upper St. Clair was running. See if that continues in the second half.
Interesting, too, to see what adjustments Mount Lebanon will make to sort of limit that passing attack of the Pantelis brothers and Jason Sweeney that seemed to really occupy a lot of at least the second quarter.
For those tuning in, you'll note that Denny Pasufka was not available to make it this evening. He is sick at home. Denny, I know you're listening. We miss you. I hope you're enjoying the game and getting better. You've got to be statistician for the Pitt game tomorrow at noon, so rest up and go Panthers tomorrow. We're down to 10 seconds remaining before we'll start this second half.
A couple more quick announcements if we got some time. We'll save those for the second half.
Well, Dave, you did mention the event that's going to honor.
Yeah, the Hall of Champions event tomorrow in Bridgeville at 7 o'clock at Cephalo's. It's close to a sellout. You might be able to still buy a ticket online, but I wouldn't try and buy one at the door because I think we are at about capacity. The Mount Lebanon athletes who are being inducted into this year's class include Aiden Kane, who was first team All-State, Molly Mangan, who was a Whippeal champion in the 300 hurdles, Allie Klaber, who's a lacrosse All-American, Lexi Gibbons, who was also a lacrosse All-American, Trinity Ward was a Whippeal champion in the butterfly, the girls 200 medley relay team of Hannah Morelli, Maddie Dorish, Trinity Ward, and Libby McDyer won the Whippeal. They are all going into the Hall of Champions tomorrow night, as well as special recognition as Distinguished Blue Devils for Art Walker, Charlie Stahl, Tyler Bloomling, and Vince Russo.
Here we go. Second half starts with a kickoff to Palmer at the 15. He takes it, comes up over the 20, cuts, that's Chandru Vaughn, carries it all the way out to the 28-yard line where he's hit by a host of Upper St. Clair Panthers covering the kick. It'll be 1st down and 10, Mount Lebanon Blue Devils from the 28.5-yard line. Seth Morgan, the senior signal caller, comes out. He has the lone Mount Lebanon touchdown, a 1-yard rushing touchdown. Seth looked to get comfortable as that second quarter rolled on. Mount Lebanon offense mixed it up a little more. Nice job by offensive coordinators Casey Phillips and Andrew Capucci working in some different formations and play calls. Seth in shotgun, Andrew Vaughn in the backfield, 4 wide receivers. Seth drops back to pass, wow.
Just off the fingertips of Sam Lesotho, had his man beat.
We started the first quarter, our first play, very similar, trying to get Lesotho in the slot. There he was behind the defender. Seth just overthrew Sam Lesotho. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And he had him beat, Brian.
He did. Again, Seth's had a lot of success this season hitting those slot receivers, Lesotho and Lucas DeCaro. We have not called Lucas DeCaro's number as much as we normally do. He is banged up, really powering through with 2 shoulder injuries, both to his left and right shoulder.
Real difficulty getting the play in here, Brian.
They're down to 5 seconds on the play clock. Oh, again, wide open.
Great catch.
Oh, unbelievable catch by Lucas DeCaro. Wide open. Again, we see Morgan attacking the Panther defense by finding the slot receivers running straight down the field. Nothing fancy about the route that Lucas DeCaro ran. If that ball is anywhere close to number 5, DeCaro, the second-team all-conference wide receiver, you know he's going to haul it in. Mount Lebanon deploying 4 wide receivers, no tight end, 1 tailback. That tailback is Chandru Vaughn. Snap to Morgan. He drops back to pass. Heavy rush. There's going to be a holding. Wow, holding.
And I don't agree with the call, Brian. I don't agree with the call.
Wow. They're going to get number 57, Max Baker, the right tackle.
Max Baker absolutely pancaked his man. Absolutely pancaked his man, took him off his feet, and sat on him. That is a bad, bad call. Unfortunately, we don't have replay, but Max just did a heck of a job containing his man, and like I said, put him on his back.
Boy, we talked about Morgan liking to find those slot receivers. First 3 plays of the second half, he goes to Lesotho and then twice to DeCaro, hits pay dirt from 55 yards out, but that play is coming all the way back to the Mount Lebanon 34-yard line where it'll be holding on the right tackle. 1st down and 27 for the Blue Devils with 11:29 remaining in the third quarter. Score tied 7-7.
Well, that was a gift for St. Clair there because, like I said, that was not a penalty.
Yeah, well-designed play by Coach Phillips and Coach Capucci, finding the slot receiver wide open. Lucas DeCaro doing his thing. There's Seth on the draw. Again, on 1st down and 27, I like the play call. Let's just get some positive yards. He takes it, bangs it up the middle, picks up about 6. It'll be 2nd down and let's call it 21.
23 on the board.
Blue Devils deploying 4 wide receivers again. Morgan in the familiar shotgun. DeCaro goes in motion. Vaughn in the backfield. Snap, heavy rush.
Picked up well by Vaughn.
Downfield.
A nasty collision in the backfield between the 2 St. Clair defenders. They both got the set at the same time, and he ducked under them.
Yeah, he looks for Timmy Walters down the right sideline, the 6'4" senior wide receiver in coverage. Number 11, David Pantelis breaks it up. It'll be 3rd down and 23. Seth looking for the deep ball early in this third quarter, challenging that Panther defense. It'll be 3rd and long. What you don't want to do here is turn it over.
Number 99 of St. Clair, the right defensive end, holding his arm after that nasty collision in the backfield. He got his teammate's helmet right on the forearm.
That's the senior captain, Rauch, having a nice game, plays both tight end and defensive end. Mount Lebanon uses their first timeout of the second half. They'll have 2 remaining. With 10:50 remaining in the third quarter, it's Blue Devils 7, Upper St. Clair 7. I don't know what Coach Phillips and Coach Capucci have as their best 3rd down and 23 play. Wonder if they'll deploy it here.
Well, and you wonder, too, if you get half of it. Well, yeah, you get half of it, you're into St. Clair territory.
You know, if you were at the 50-yard line, I think I might consider, they've got, and I know, a couple gadget plays in this week, including a throwback to Seth Morgan. You know, now would be an interesting time to call something like that.
Probably not expecting it, that's for sure. We'll have to see what that Riverboat Gambler dials up. While we're waiting, the girls' soccer team got a big section win this week against Moon. Good luck for the rest of the way as they battle for a playoff spot. They have a big game tomorrow at the high school stadium when they take on section rival Peters Township. That's a 3:30 start. Here we go, Brian. Big play.
3rd down and 23. Morgan out of the shotgun. Looks, tries to hit Lesotho across the middle. Ball thrown to him at around the 45-yard line. In coverage was McClendon. Lesotho had McClendon beat, could not hold on to the pass. Ball turns over. Well, it does not, excuse me. It's 4th down and 23, 10:46 remaining. Blue Devils will be in a familiar punt formation. Charlie Gording having a great night punting the ball. Senior Tim Walters long snapping. Out wide is Brody Campbell and Mason Ventrone. Mason had the big hit, kind of turned the momentum around. Low snap. Big kick again by
another
Gordon.
Good kick by Charlie.
Fair catch.
Bobble. No.
Drives Pantelis all the way back to the 21-yard line where he bobbles it but recovers it. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Panthers. Boy.
Morgan just 3 of 13, Brian, for 51 yards. We just can't seem to put a string of plays together.
Can't, you know, we talked about it. Seth is kind of the key to this offense, the signal caller in a Coach Melnick offense. They like to sling the ball around, you know, have all the confidence in the world.
You know, that last 3rd down play with the ball over the middle to Sam, I mean, that's a catchable ball, and he had some room to run. So, it's, you know, the connections are there. We just need some help from the receivers, too.
All the confidence in the world in Seth. I know he has a lot of confidence in himself. I have a feeling the senior signal caller will get it going here, hopefully on the next drive. Mount Lebanon again in their base 3-5 stack. Panthers start out running the ball, and wow, Blue Devil defense tightens. Again, familiar names we're calling. That's Ben Greenwood, the senior middle linebacker, number 48, in on the tackle, as well as big number 55, J.B. Nelson, from the left defensive end position. And boy, that's kind of an epic matchup. Slinger, the Division I wrestling recruit at right tackle for the Panthers, against J.B. Nelson, the junior left defensive end, Division I football recruit. I know the Badgers of Wisconsin have been in to recruit J.B. Nelson.
That is big men in the trenches.
Oh, ton of time. Oh, and blocked by number 71, senior captain Michael Ferlino, rushing from the right end, gets his hand up, blocks Jason Sweeney's pass. Again, Sweeney had a lot of time back there to survey the field. Nice job by the Blue Devil D-backs, including Charlie Gordon, in tight coverage. Not enough room for Upper St. Clair to get a
big 3rd down play here.
Yeah, third down and 9
from the 23. Mount Lebanon get a stop. It's their turn to change the field. We've been seemingly starting all of our drives on the Mount Lebanon side of the 50.
Senior signal caller for St. Clair, Sweeney back in shotgun, brings McClendon in motion to the left side of the field, fakes the handoff, rolls to his familiar right side.
What a great open field tackle. Michael Palmer. Boy, seems to be everywhere, Brian.
I'll tell you what.
Offense, defense, special teams.
It's hard for me over the last 2 seasons to think of a play where Michael Palmer's missed an open field tackle. That is exactly the matchup, if you're Mount Lebanon, you want. Michael in the flat, on the running back. McClendon can't do anything after he catches the ball. The short tackler, Palmer.
And who's back to return the punt, Brian?
Michael Palmer, the senior, at the 45-yard line. Mount Lebanon does not rush it. Line drive kick, toe the sideline, gets a nice bounce. Oh, nice job by Michael Palmer. He picks it up at around the 34-yard line, heads up the sideline, gets it all the way to the 40, saves about 6 yards. Mount Lebanon will have their second drive of the 3rd quarter with 9:13 remaining. The score is tied 7-7. Blue Devils take over at the 40-yard line. Time to get Seth Morgan going.
I was going to say, too, it'd be nice to see a little of that Chandru that we saw at the end of the 2nd quarter that really seemed to pace the Mount Lebanon offense on their scoring drive.
Mount Lebanon goes trips right. 4 wide receivers deployed. Chandru Vaughn, lone running back. Seth Morgan in shotgun. Hughes snaps to Morgan. Hand off to Vaughn. Vaughn hits the hole hard. right up into the middle. Picks up 3 yards, tackled by number 50, James Dilulis, excuse me. Second down and 7 for the Blue Devils. Clock running at 8:55. Score tied 7-7. Again, Mount Lebanon goes trips right.
I stick with Chandru. He's had good success up the middle, gobbling up some yards. Get yourself in some third and short.
St. Clair deploying 4 down linemen. Looks like 3 linebackers, 4 defensive backs.
Seth keeps it up the middle, not much, probably 2.
Very good read by, it looked like the defensive end who came down the line, Rouch. The defensive end read that play perfectly, came down the line. Not much room for Seth to run. Seth picks up maybe a yard, let's call it 2 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Blue Devils facing another big 3rd down, trying to get into St. Clair Panther territory. Morgan in shotgun, wide receivers 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Vaughn in the backfield, 5 down linemen, no tight end for the Blue Devils. Play clock at 12 seconds as Morgan waits to get the signal from the sideline.
A lot of Mount Lebanon receivers with their palms up, wondering what's taking
Oh, they're going to have a tough time getting this play off.
6, 5, 4. What happened to the days of the huddle, Brian?
Oh.
Taken down behind by Roush again.
Yeah, heavy rush from the outside. Forced Morgan to step up in the pocket earlier than he wanted to. And then let's call that sack for a 1-yard loss. That'll be 4th down and 6. Blue Devils again bring out their punt team. Charlie Gordon very busy this game. Juniors, Mason Ventrone to the right sideline. Brody Campbell to the left. They'll be the gunners out to the side.
This is our 7th punt for Charlie's. Going to wear out the laces on that shoe.
Jesus.
And you're right, they did see something.
Oh. Again, Mason, who was that? Was that Mason again? Incredible coverage by Ventrone. Hope Mason's okay. Yeah, he took a hit to the head. You could hear that all the way up here.
Mason. I think it was Brody.
Oh, was it Brody? I'm sorry.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was Mace. Because Brody was on the left side. All right, so ball going to be placed at the 23-yard line where St. Clair will come out for their 2nd drive of this 3rd quarter. Sideline warning to the Panthers.
Yep.
That's their first sideline warning.
You saw it though, Brian, earlier in the game. They're bringing the punt rush from the left side because they know that Charlie's tendencies to roll that way. They came real close to getting a hand on that one.
So 7:07 remaining in this 3rd quarter. The score, Blue Devils 7, Upper St. Clair 7. Kind of a classic defensive battle. Offenses have had a tough time getting things going. Panthers come out. They deploy 3 wide receivers, bring McClendon into the slot. Sweeney in shotgun, goes back to pass on 1st down, and that's going to be pass interference.
Penalty on Brody. Got caught up with the older Pantelis racing down the sideline.
Down the left sideline, they saw one-on-one coverage. The safety was over to the other side of the field. Sweeney goes immediately long. That'll be a pass interference.
Trying to pick on the sophomore, Brody Campbell.
Brody's had a really nice season at cornerback for the Blue Devils.
Wonderful athlete. He has uncoachable speed, that's for certain. Very aggressive ball hawk.
So with that penalty, the ball moves out to the 38-yard line where it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Panthers. Again, Sweeney in shotgun, same formation as we saw before. They bring McClendon in motion, and Sweeney looks back to pass. Oh, nice play by.
Gets in there. He's been close all night.
Wow.
And interestingly, Brian, that's the one time they didn't roll Sweeney out, and he was stationary there in the pocket, and Tank finally got to him.
Yeah, nice move. Michael starts upfield, then plants his foot, cuts inside the left tackle, and comes free clean. Nails the quarterback Sweeney for a 8-yard loss. It'll be 2nd down and 18. Nice to see that Blue Devil pass rush heating up. Need to pressure Sweeney, make him uncomfortable in the pocket. Clock continues to run, 6:29 remaining. The score is tied 7-7. We see the Blue Devils still deploying their base stack defense. 3 down linemen, 5 linebackers,
Nobody happy.
No,
about-
I'm sorry. 4 line. They're now going with the extra D-back is in.
Oh, Tank.
Another nice play. Boy, nice pursuit.
Tank knows he had a chance at him.
Yeah, and let's remember, Michael Farlino is playing both ways. He's starting at offensive guard and right defensive end.
That's
He's got
tough
his work
duty.
cut out for him, too.
And he's
Third-
a competitor.
3rd down and 15. Now, interesting, on 3rd down and 15, Blue Devils look like they're back to deploying 5 linebackers, 3 D-backs, 3 down linemen. I expect McLean to blitz.
We had motion. The slot receiver for St. Clair jumped. It's going to turn this into a 3rd and 20.
So that's 3 pre-snap penalties you've had on Upper St. Clair. Not your typical Jim Render team. You don't see them make those type
And
of
he
mistakes.
looks miserable right now. Render with his palms up, looking at his assistants for answers. You're right, though, Brian. They're usually very disciplined.
Interestingly, longtime offensive coordinator from Mount Lebanon, Mike Junko, on the defensive side of the ball this time for the Panthers, calling plays from the box. Mike was a great teacher at Mount Lebanon High School, too. Of course, Mike's father, legendary Bob Junko, Pitt coach, really one of the most respected coaches in NCAA football and a staple of Pitt
Single
Panther
coverage on the
football.
far side. We really need a stop in 3rd and long.
Running it.
Sweeney's going to run it up
Holding.
the middle.
Oh, my. Ben Greenwood got absolutely held by number 61, but no call on the play. Does not matter. It'll be a 4th down, and let's call it
It's like about 10.
10, yeah. And Upper St. Clair brings out their punt team.
Mount Lebanon again seems just. How did they not realize they were going to punt here? It just befuddles me that the punt team is so stressed
Interestingly,
out. getting on the
Michael
field.
Palmer not very deep right here. He's at about the 35-yard line as Sweeney, the quarterback, goes back to punt. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Fair catch. Good call, Michael. Nice job.
Boy, you had 4 Mount Lebanon Blue Devils right in the face
Yeah.
of Sweeney getting that punt off.
Very close to blocking
Looks like
that.
all of these. I think, we talked about it with Palmer, but you have a few players who play both ways, and it starts to catch up with you. These kids don't get to take a play off. The specialists and some of the larger linemen. This is a intense game. You
Well,
can see that some of these kids are starting to make the mental mistakes.
It's a thing to watch because St. Clair has far more players going both ways than Mount Lebanon does.
I think they start at 14 or 15 seniors.
Yeah, a lot of guys going both ways for St.
I know
Clair.
they play a large number of juniors in the JV game because
nice.
they have so many seniors who play.
Yes.
Seth took a unnecessary shot in the head there after he was
Yeah,
down.
looked like they came across with his elbow. Boy, again, great job of Seth playing that play action fake, although it was a keeper. I actually thought Vaughn had the ball. Seth keeps it, goes over the right side behind Max Baker, and picks up 7 yards where it's 2nd down and 3. Morgan in shotgun, hands to Vaughn. Vaughn,
Shandru trying to get outside.
nice play by number 23
Nate
for
Ripley
the Panthers.
just wouldn't let Shandru be
Yeah, well played by Ripley.
get around the edge.
Sometimes, in that play, Shandru just should have taken what was available there, just probably get a yard. Instead, he tries to bounce it to the outside, and well played by the St. Clair defender. Mount Lebanon facing yet another 3rd down and 6. 3:42 remaining, score tied 7-7. Morgan in shotgun, trips to the left. Walters, the lone receiver on the right.
St. Clair coach is barking out defensive signals.
Got him.
Boy, there was a lot of hand jockeying going on between those two players. Looks like Carter Davidson got the short end of the stick with the St.
Yeah.
Clair interception.
Carter Davison, a speed ride receiver, also lacrosse player. Looked like he might have had a step on him. Pattern curled to the inside, and the Upper St. Clair defender stepped off and picked it off.
I think you have to remember with Carter, too, he doesn't, while he's a junior, he's only in probably his 2nd full year of football.
Right.
He's a wonderful athlete. With a little more experience, he tries to get inside or at least try and break up that pass.
St. Clair takes over for its 3rd drive of this 3rd quarter. Sweeney rolls out to the opposite way.
No chance at that one. I think Frelino was held again, and
Yeah.
he's letting the defender know it. I
Nice.
think Michael's telling him the only way you can stop me, and now they're shaking hands. I think Michael just told him the only way you can stop me is to hold me.
Nice,
Seth?
nice coverage by Charlie Gordon there, number 22, the senior.
Seth is probably our leading rusher on the Mount Lebanon side, 12 carries for 43 yards. That's not what you want unless you're putting points on the board.
Yeah, yards have been tough to come by for this Blue Devils offense tonight. Third drive of this second half for St. Clair. They're facing a 3rd down and 10. Ball on the 32-yard line. Clock stopped with 3:21 remaining in the third quarter. Scores Mount Lebanon 7, Upper St. Clair 7. Sweeney in shotgun. McClendon fakes motion. Oh, wow.
That play went nowhere.
Well played again. Michael Frolino and J.B. Nelson at defensive ends. Getting upfield, making penetration. We've seen that. They've picked up their play quite a bit on the D-line.
Michael Frolino is playing like this game means a whole lot more to him than the guys in the white jerseys. He's not denied. Sweeney 11 for 19 for 143 yards. We haven't seen the Pantelis brothers much in the second half.
No, it looks like Mount Lebanon may have made a defensive adjustment to take away a lot of those drag routes and curls that Sweeney was hitting on early against the Blue Devil defense. Now we've got a 3rd down and 13. Clock running with 2:39 remaining. Oh, they have that blocked up pretty well. But he'll be short of the 1st down. They had that play designed, well-designed play. They had blockers out there. Mount Lebanon Blue Devils fought through it. Was that Jack Sullivan on the tackle, the junior?
24, yeah.
Nice job from his safety position coming up. Short tackler Sullivan, the junior. And again, we've got the Upper St. Clair punt team coming out. Player down for the Panthers. Looks like it may be a lineman.
Cramping up.
Probably a cramp, yeah.
Orsini's got 19 carries, Brian, for 78 yards. He started off the first half well ahead of his 100-yard per game average. He's settled a little bit. We might see a few more guys cramping up here later in the day. It's, as we talked about, it's a rather warm evening for October.
So right now we've got an injury
Chris
timeout.
Pantelis is the player down.
Well, that would be a big loss for the Panthers.
But again, it looks like a cramp. So, but those are things that don't tend to go away over the course of a game. Seen a lot of players cramp up this year, Brian.
So it'll be a 4th down and 3, 2 minutes and 13 seconds remaining. Score tied 7-7 on a beautiful night in southwestern Pennsylvania.
Every so often we get the waft of the fresh fire from probably down on Hollycrest with the Mitchells. You know, it's about that time in the game where Rick gets the fire going.
That could be the Mitchell tailgate. Yeah, just kicking in. All right, so a familiar sight in this second half. The Panthers and Blue Devils trading punts. Sweeney, the senior quarterback, back to punt for St. Clair. Mount Lebanon rushed heavily the punt last time, almost blocked it. No rush this time.
Another
Line
line
drive
drive.
punt. Michael's got to field that. He does. Comes to the sideline. About a 4-yard return. He takes it all the way up to the 26-yard line, where it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Blue Devils. 1:58 remaining in the first quarter. Score 7-7. Mount Lebanon comes out for its 4th drive of the third quarter from their own 22-yard line. Score tied 7-7. Morgan. Oh, actually, Blue Devils are huddling, but not all the receivers are in the huddle. Interesting. Play clock's down to 17.
Fascinating, is it? A 7-man huddle.
I'm gonna bet this is a run to Chandru then, because the wide receivers were not.
I have no idea.
No, they pass it.
Oh, little trickeration.
Oh, come short.
Throws it away.
Yeah. Good choice by Seth Morgan right there.
So the design play coming off the bench is to make everybody think that it's a run because the wide receivers are not in the huddle.
Was there a flag down on the play, Dave?
Not sure. Is there a penalty for only having 7 men in a huddle? Because
no, I'm sorry, no flag down. So it'll be 2nd down and 10, 1:51 remaining in the third quarter. Seth still trying to get on track. Again, what we've seen, though, is Upper St. Clair applying more pressure from their ends, forcing Seth out to step up or out of the pocket.
It's just been an offense with no rhythm, Brian.
Yeah.
No rhythm
hard
whatsoever.
run by the senior Morgan right there. Spins and cuts it up hard.
I mean, it's, you know, I'm going back to it again. I thought we had a nice series and a half with Chandru really pacing them on offense with the run game to give Seth a break. And now we're back to this, you know.
Boy, 3rd and 5. We've been in 3rd and 5 and beyond a lot this whole evening, have a tough time converting on 3rd downs. I expect the Blue Devils to be shotgun here. Looks like they're deploying 4 wide receivers. Again, Vaughn in the backfield, no tight end. Twins to each side. Again, heavy rush. Oh, he's got him. He's got him. Again, there, Seth was under duress. Strong rush from the senior captain, Roush, from the outside. Seth Morgan tried to hit Lucas DeCaro deep down the field. Lucas had broken away from the coverage, but ball just out of reach.
There have been about 4 or 5 of those tonight, Brian, where the pass and the receiver have just been 1 yard off. And they've been open. The receivers are getting open deep against St. Clair.
Might want to leave the running back in to help chip that defensive end who's starting to apply a lot of pressure from the left side of the St. Clair defensive line. Forced Seth to throw earlier than he wanted to. Charlie Gordon back again to punt. Upper St. Clair is rushing this punt right up the middle.
Boy, Charlie Gordon
nice
continues to
punt.
keep us in this football game.
Yeah. Again, very good punt by Gordon.
Seth is 3 for 16 for 51 yards and an interception. So we have one completion per quarter at this rate, which is not par for the Mount Lebanon team that people are used to this season.
Gordon punts it all the way back to the 32 where it's fair catch by Pantelis. St. Clair will take over for their 4th series of the 3rd quarter.
As I look behind us here, you see some of the guys back to honor Art Walker from '84, Greg Ketcher, Steve Fink, Matt Elin, Jamie Linkowski, the Whitfield Championship team from 1984, here to honor their great coach Art Walker tomorrow night. Greg Ketcher's son is freshman at Penn State from the Harrisburg area, playing well, highly recruited.
Boy, there's Tommy McLean again, pressuring the senior Jason Sweeney. Not enough
Sweeney's
time to
smart
set up
with the ball, isn't he? I mean, he doesn't take any chances. He gets rid of it quickly when he knows when he's under duress.
You mentioned the Mount Lebanon alumni back to honor Coach Art Walker. Let's remember that Doug Morgan, Seth's father, played on 2 Whitfield Championship teams. Doug was also a heck of a standout player at
Mountain West
University
Defensive Player of the Year 2 years in a row, I believe.
At University of Texas El Paso.
Orsini, Brian, is on the sideline cramping up. St. Clair medical staff has been working with him.
Sweeney in shotgun. Rolls out. Find him. Uh-oh. And that'll be a 1st down.
We saw a lot of that in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, I think that's only St. Clair's 2nd 1st down of the 2nd half. Clock will stop with 36 seconds left as St. Clair completes the pass and moves the ball to their own 46-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 10 Panthers. Sweeney very comfortable rolling out, finding the wide receiver underneath on the drag, underneath the Mount Lebanon coverage, picks up the 1st down. Mount Lebanon out of their base defense, now deploying 4 defensive backs. Toss to McClendon, they've got the edge. That's trouble.
No sign of a cramp on that one.
Yeah, block that play out well.
Yards for the touchdown goes Antonio Orsini.
Nothing fancy about that play. Toss sweep. They ran it to the short side of the field, kicked the linebackers out. He put his foot in and planted. 55-yard touchdown run for Orsini. And Upper St. Clair goes ahead 13-7 with 26 seconds remaining in this 3rd quarter.
You know, I can't help but watch some of the body language here, Brian, of the Mount Lebanon players. You know, they've hung in, they've hung on, they've battled at the line of scrimmage. You've got guys like Tank Ferlino making every play, and it just almost feels like, you know, that great coach Jim Render has just sort of been picking his spots, waiting for the right time. And if you saw, you know, Michael Ferlino, who's battled for 3 solid quarters, could just walking almost defeated back to the line of scrimmage for the extra point, he's got to be exhausted.
Yeah, obviously still a lot of time left. 26 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. That's a 3-play, 68-yard drive by Upper St. Clair, their 4th drive of the 3rd quarter. Orsini takes the toss sweep, heads left, 55 yards to pay dirt. Nice job by Upper St. Clair blocking that up. Orsini, hard runner, breaks a couple tackles.
Interestingly, as our spotter Jack Gazor pointed out, Orsini spent pretty much the whole Mount Lebanon possession on the sideline getting treatment for cramps, and he showed no sign of it in that run. He's got 19 carries for 135 yards and a touchdown tonight, well over his season average.
Yeah, this Mount Lebanon defense has held in there tough pretty much this whole game. It's time for the Mount Lebanon offense to start making some plays. There are certainly plenty of playmakers on it. Give Upper St. Clair's defense some credit. Just has not been a lot of room out there to make plays. Here we go. Upper St. Clair kicking off from the 40-yard line into the south end zone. Back deep for the Blue Devils is Vaughn and Palmer. High kick. Ball comes down to Vaughn at the 12-yard line. He takes it, heads up the left sideline. Goes, nice return by Vaughn. Takes it all the way out to the 33-yard line. That's a 21-yard return for Vaughn. It'll be first down and 10, Blue Devils from the 33-yard line. 19 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Upper St. Clair 14, Mount Lebanon 7.
Chandru picked up a good 5 or 6 yards after it looked like he was stopped on that kick return.
Interesting now, you see Tommy McLean deployed to Roush's side. Oh,
just tripped up, almost had pay dirt on that one, Brian.
Nice run by Seth, very nifty inside the tackles. It's been a very effective play for the Blue Devils. That's the second time in a row they've run that play. And he's got 5 yards. That was the last play of the third quarter. As the clock winds down, we'll head to the fourth quarter. Upper St. Clair 14, Mount Lebanon 7. Mount Lebanon will take back over at their own 37-yard line, facing a second down and 5. 12 minutes of football action left in this rivalry showdown between Upper St. Clair and Mount Lebanon.
What?
Great turnout tonight by both communities. The home bleachers have been filled most of this game, although it starts to clear out a little bit when the band parents head home after the halftime.
As we watch Orsini, he's going both ways tonight, and he's stretching out those legs. He's walking. He's had a rough night. He started the game earlier with some stomach issues and some cramps, and these guys are just battling.
If we really are in need of a first down, something to get this offense going, anything.
We need a spark.
Yeah, you know, usually you're used to Coach Melnick's offense putting up a lot of points. We've seen them score routinely in the 40s. It's been tough going against this Upper St. Clair defense tonight.
I don't think any of the pundits thought we'd be 14-7 heading into the fourth quarter.
No, not at all. Still waiting for Seth Morgan to heat up here. Looks like Seth will be in shotgun. McLean, the H-back, 4 wide receivers, twins to both sides. Morgan takes the snap. Flag on the play, throws long.
It's going
to be a legal
to see
procedure.
what the penalty is.
Unbelievable. Mason Ventrone,
and a flag
touchdown.
At the end of the play as well.
But that play is going to come back, most likely holding or a legal procedure on Mount Lebanon. Wow.
Possibly the second touchdown tonight, Brian, called back on a penalty.
It's coming back again. Unbelievable. 2 touchdowns this half called back by penalties. Unbelievable.
I didn't see what the penalty was.
Boy, story of Mount Lebanon's season offensively. Just too many mistakes on big plays. There you find Seth hitting the junior Mason Ventrone, who catches it down the right sideline, makes a nice move and heads all the way down the sideline for the touchdown. That play will be nullified by a call at the line of scrimmage.
2 big play touchdowns eliminated by penalties tonight, Brian. 2 long passes, one earlier to Caro and that one to Mason. There was a penalty thrown at the end of the play. I don't know if Mason taunted or did something as he was going in the end zone, and whether that penalty gets assessed, I'm not sure.
Boy, again, so Mount Lebanon
legal
facing
procedures, the first call. Second penalty. Unsportsmanlike conduct also against Mount Lebanon. So that must have been the second flag down at the end zone. Talk about salt in the wound. You get an unsportsmanlike penalty on a touchdown that doesn't count.
So Mount Lebanon pushed all the way back to their 18-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 25. Here you just hope you can get back 10 or 12 of these yards. Look
Pretty
for
much figure
Morgan.
that as an 82-yard, 6-point penalty right there, Brian.
Morgan rolls out.
And Orsini with the interception. Looking for room to
Oh,
run.
he's got
it
room.
on the
He's
far
got room
side.
down the sideline.
He's got blockers. He dodges Seth. He's going to make it into the end zone.
Unbelievable.
So immediately one play after Mount Lebanon has a touchdown nullified by a penalty. St. Clair returns the interception.
You have got to make that tackle. There are 11 Mount Lebanon Blue Devils out there. They have got to find a way to bring him down. That hurts. Wow. Takes it all the way back.
Playmakers make plays, and Orsini's been the man tonight for St. Clair, rushing for one, returning an interception for another.
Blue Devils will have their work cut out for them the rest of this way. It's a flag down on the play. I believe this is against Mount Lebanon. Unsportsmanlike penalty call after the touchdown was scored. Orsini, incredible interception, cuts in front of the senior Lucas Sicaro, picks it off at the sideline. That was the far sideline. Cuts back, returns it all the way to the near sideline for the touchdown.
I think Render sometimes thinks he's part of the officiating crew.
Still waiting. Oh my. So I think that was a taunting. I think that was a taunting penalty on Upper St. Clair, called at the end of the play. I guess that'll be assessed on the kickoff, which will help Mount Lebanon as they'll take the ball over, trailing most likely 21-7 with 11:27 remaining in this
Now the
fourth quarter.
official's blowing his whistle, wants to come in, and that's the same gentleman that was down here talking with Coach Render. I guess he was too interested in the conversation to get in position for the extra point. Extra point is good.
All right, so
21-7 Upper St. Clair, 11:27 to play. And
we're
that's got to be the story of the game right there, Brian. In addition to Orsini making plays on offense and defense, Mount Lebanon 3 for 17 throwing the ball for just 51 yards, 2 interceptions.
Yeah, so we're going to find out what this Blue Devil team is made of. They're down 14 points with 11:27 remaining in the fourth quarter. Obviously, all the momentum in Upper St. Clair's way. Mount Lebanon has to find a way to get some plays going. Again, I think finding more the players in the slot, trying to get some short yardage, get Seth some confidence, and then let's see what we can get going here. But just a lack of really positive plays offensively. First down's been a killer down for us all night. Have not been able to connect on much. This is a gut check for this Mount Lebanon team. The good news is on the unsportsmanlike taunting penalty, St. Clair's pushed back all the way to the 25 to kick it. So the Blue Devils should get good field position here. Mount Lebanon has to weather the storm, find a way to dig deep. They need points on this drive. Upper St. Clair kicking from the south end zone. They'll kick it into the north end zone. Mount Lebanon will be catching it from the scoreboard side and running it into the south end zone. Kickoff by St. Clair. It's a high kick. Chandru Vaughn catches it at the 26-yard line, heads to the near sideline, up all the way to the 45-yard line. Very good return by Vaughn. All right, Mount Lebanon takes over. 11:22 remaining in the fourth quarter, trailing 21-7. They'll be at the 46-yard line with a 1st and 10. Mount Lebanon has 2 timeouts remaining. Upper St. Clair has all 3. I expect Mount Lebanon to come out in shotgun. They do. Chandru Vaughn, the lone running back. 5 down lineman, trips to the right.
Seth's motioning that we don't have a wide receiver, and we don't.
Oh, my.
Brody Campbell making the move from the sideline. Plenty of time on the play clock, but just, again, lack of discipline. Not knowing where you're supposed to be. Crucial series in the fourth quarter. And Seth is just hammered by number 58, Quinn Murray.
Yeah, I think there he came right over Michael Ferlino. There you've got big tank Ferlino playing both ways, starting to get a little tired out. Big sack by Upper St. Clair. Again, got to dig deep here, Lebo. You're down 14, 21-7 left in the fourth quarter. Clock ticking at 10:57.
Seth has to feel like he was just hit by a truck.
Yeah, blindside hit.
Blindside hit.
Oh,
not
my. Carter
even.
Davis not certain where he's supposed to line up.
Oh. Going from bad to worse here, Brian. Seth just puts it up. Intercepted by, looks like number 58, Quinn Murray. So he comes back after the big sack and makes the interception.
Yeah, there they tried to set up the junior Chandru Vaughn on the screen. Well read by the Upper St. Clair defense. Unfortunate play right there on second down. Mount Lebanon turns the ball over on back-to-back series. Again, we've talked about the Blue Devils digging deep. Defense has been up, had their back against the wall the whole game. They've got to come up strong here. 10:40 remaining, 21-7 Upper St. Clair.
Now the clock is St. Clair's friend. They're content to run Orsini up the middle.
Yeah, nice job by the senior, number 48, Sam Greenwood. Excuse me, Ben Greenwood. Sam's his dad. Comes through the hole untouched, meets Orsini in the hole, takes him down for no gain. It's second down and 10.
And we talked about at the outset, both of these teams came into this game with 12 turnovers. I believe St. Clair has 1 turnover tonight on the punt return against, that's 3 interceptions now for the Blue Devil offense.
Yeah, look, I mean, this Mount Lebanon defense has got to get stout now. They cannot afford to give up any more points. Long play, turn, Brody.
Boy,
Wow.
Great throw and catch from Sweeney to Bantalis. Taken down by Brody Campbell at about the 5-yard line. St. Clair's running all cylinders now, Brian.
Yeah, again, Sweeney, a lot of time back there in the pocket, was able to find Pantelis on one-on-one coverage down the sideline. Brody was with him step for step. Nice pass by Sweeney, puts it right on the money. And Upper St. Clair's threatening again at the 9-yard line. 9:55 remaining, clock running. Boy, Mount Lebanon needs to get tough here. Really cannot afford to give up any points. Down 21-7. Dig deep, Lebo. They bring McClendon in motion. Sweeney toss outside. They have that blocked up.
Great open field tackle.
Yeah.
Can we guess who it was? No.
That was Sam Rolfson coming
Rolfson.
across. They had that play blocked up. Rolfson came underneath to make the tackle. Nice job of pursuing it all the way across the field. They started on the near side, ran to the opposite hash. Well-designed play by Upper St. Clair. We're looking at a second down and goal from the 5-yard line. Clock running at 9:11. Upper St. Clair beating the Blue Devils 21-7. Sweeney in shotgun. They deploy trips to the right. Orsini again up the middle. Tackled by J.B. Nelson. That's a gain of 4 yards. It'll be third down and goal from the 1-yard line. Clock running at 8:40. Upper St. Clair goes into the huddle. See if Mount Lebanon deploys an extra defensive lineman, brings out Brody Campbell. In comes Nathan Hughes, the center. Don't usually see Nathan on defense. So this is the goal line defense for the Blue Devils. Third down and goal from the 1-yard line. Clock running. Sweeney under center. Ball fake. Wide open.
Well-designed play.
Yeah. They brought McClendon across. Very well-designed play. And it's Upper St. Clair 27, Blue Devils 7. McClendon dragged across from the right, came across from the left. Sweeney, play action fake, finds McClendon in the left corner of the end zone. Upper St. Clair Panthers 27, Blue Devils 7. Extra point pending. Sweeney the holder.
You know, it's hard to play the what-if game, but Brian, you think of those 2 big touchdowns, both called back on penalties. The one I thought was rather suspect on Max Baker. You know, it's just painful when you know you can make the, you know, you combine that with the 3 or 4 passes over the middle that have just missed wide receivers. It is, as Bill Cowher always used to say, it's a game of inches, and the difference between winning and losing can be so small, and you've seen it here tonight. I mean, the 3 or 4 deep passes over the middle that Mount Lebanon just off the tips of the fingers of the wide receiver, and the 2 big penalties that called back touchdowns.
Look, let me just be clear about one thing. There's 8:12 left in this game. Jim Render is not going to put his foot off his throat, off the Mount Lebanon Blue Devil throat. Blue Devils have to toughen up here and got to get something going offensively right now.
He wants to make a statement about who owns the South Hills of Pittsburgh. There's no doubt about it. Sweeney's 15 of 23 for 190 and 1 touchdown.
Yeah, the senior signal caller for Upper St. Clair's looked very comfortable back in the pocket, done a nice job of finding his receivers. Upper St. Clair kicks off. Chandru Vaughn lets it bounce, catches it. Chandru Vaughn takes the punt, lets it bounce, catches it around the 12-yard line, returns it all the way out to the 25. Clock is at 7:59. Upper St. Clair leads 29-7. Still really waiting for this Blue Devil offense to get going here. 2 long touchdowns for the Blue Devils this second half, called back because of penalties. Mount Lebanon has to find a way to persevere here and get something going offensively. They're running trips to the left. 1 receiver, or excuse me, twins to the right, no running back. Seth Morgan alone in the shotgun. Nice run by Seth. Takes it right up the middle. Seth, the Blue Devils' leading rusher this evening, picks up 12 yards and a Blue Devil first down.
Probably puts him well over 50 yards rushing tonight, Brian.
Yeah, nice job by Seth. Running hard right up the middle.
He had 31 to end the half. I think he's probably added 20 to that. Last we checked, he was at 43, so that puts him well over 50.
Nice job by Seth. He finds Lucas DeCaro on the quick out. DeCaro gets his shoulders turned upfield. Hits that play for about 8 yards. 7 yards. It'll be second down and 3. Clock stops at 7 minutes and 40 seconds. Blue Devils trying to push the ball into Panther territory all the way out to the 45-yard line. Lucas DeCaro's brother, Donald DeCaro, playing football for CMU. Donald, like Lucas, was a team captain for the Blue Devils last year. Mount Lebanon deploys 3 wide receivers to the right, twins to the left. Morgan alone in shotgun. St. Clair rushes 4. Pass out. Pass intended for number 15, the junior, Sam Lasota. Sam cannot bring it down. That'll be 3rd down and 3 for Mount Lebanon. I mean, at this point, 7:34 remaining, you're really in 4-down territory if you're the Blue Devils. You need to get anything going offensively. Again, 5 wide receivers deployed, no running back in the backfield. Morgan in shotgun. Upper St. Clair blitzes. Caught by Lucas DeCaro.
Flag.
And first down. Boy, nice job by Lucas. That could be a pick on the play on Carter Davidson.
I was going to say, given where the flag was thrown, it's probably going to be a pick. Not certain. It was just an odd place to throw the penalty. It is against the Blue Devils.
So with that penalty, I forget how many penalty yards there are. That's at least 130 yards of offense erased that we've gained positively from penalties. I mean, in an evenly matched game, you cannot have all of these mistakes.
Offensive pass interference. I'm not sure if that was Carter. I mean, I guess they caught Carter Davidson with the chuck or something. I don't know, but.
All right, pushes the Blue Devils all the way back to the 30-yard line, where they'll be facing a 3rd down and let's call it 18. 7:29 remaining in the 4th quarter. Upper St. Clair 28, Mount Lebanon 7. Mount Lebanon deploys 5 wide receivers. Morgan alone. Upper St. Clair rushes 4. Seth steps up in the pocket. Sacked and fumbled.
There's a scrum for it. No sign yet. Mount Lebanon with 7 penalties tonight, Brian. Frankly, I would have thought there was 1 or 2 more than that.
That's a familiar story for the Blue Devils. Boy, at this point, if it's 4th down and 18, I just think you punt the ball. particularly if Seth has to come out for a play. And Mount Lebanon does that. That's the right thing to do here.
Yeah,
Coach Melnick brings on the punt
I'm not sure
team.
if Seth's helmet coming off made that decision easier, but I think you're right with 4th and 18. Charlie with about his 8th punt this evening.
Charlie Gordon having a great game punting, the senior back, number 22. Another booming punt. Pantelis fair catches it at the 31-yard line. Upper St. Clair will take over with 6:50 remaining in the fourth quarter. Upper St. Clair 28, Mount Lebanon 7. Hey, Bill.
$6:50 left, Brian. What do you think? You know you're probably going to see Orsini and McClendon run the ball.
Yeah, again, I think you're going to have Mount Lebanon is stack 3-5 defense. They've got 3 D-backs. I'm expecting a heavy dose of Orsini and McClendon during this last 6 minutes and 49 seconds.
McClendon with that carry off the left side for about 1.
Blue Devils fighting hard across the defensive line. Frolino, Palmer, and J.B. Nelson all doing a nice job on the defensive front. That first down play goes for 1 yard. It's 2nd down and 9. Clock continues to run with 6:30 left.
There's a lot of conversation down here with Render and his offensive coaches and players. They're dialing something up just other than a basic running play. A lot of conversation there for 2nd and 9, up 21.
Jim Renner does not have 400-plus wins for no reason at all.
And just barely get that play off, but a lot of movement I don't think they did. Maybe the long conversation. I think I'm going to give that penalty to Coach Renner because he kept half of his offense on the sideline until about 8 or 9 or 10 seconds left on the play clock.
All right, well, I think it's time to look ahead for these Blue Devils. They've got 3 games remaining. They're all 6A conference games. They've got Norwin, Central Catholic, and Pine Richland. A tough road ahead for these Blue Devils.
Doesn't get any easier.
There's no doubt I think this team has plenty of talent, but they have been hampered all season by penalties and mental mistakes. Really surprising by a Mount Lebanon football team. You might have expected that in week 1, 2, or 3, but we're now in week 7 and we're seeing the same repetitive mistakes.
Boy,
nice
great tackle there by
Mason Ventrone, nice job. It'll be 3rd down and let's call it 9 from the 32-yard line for the Panthers. And Mount Lebanon takes its 2nd timeout. They'll have 1 remaining. There's 5:26 remaining in the fourth quarter. Upper St. Clair leads Mount Lebanon 28-7.
You're right, though, Brian. You just don't expect that the mental mistakes and the penalties to carry over this deep into the season. We've talked about guys running onto the field late for plays, special teams. Those are the things that need to be nailed down in week 2, week 3. And that's, I hate to hit on it again, but the near misses tonight that could have been big bright spots for the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils, and all for naught. I can count 3 passes over the middle that just missed, and the 2 touchdowns that were called back.
Yeah, Dave.
It's tough to find the silver lining in this one, though, Brian. It's just they played their hearts out in the first half. St. Clair almost looked defeated going into the locker room at halftime, tied 7-7, and they put the plays together. Now again, Mount Lebanon still looks.
The opening drive was no doubt in the second half a killer. Mount Lebanon scores a touchdown. Lucas Taquero called back by a penalty. St. Clair scores. Mount Lebanon answers, again called back by a penalty. Again, give McClendon Orsini a lot of credit. He's busting up hard in the middle. Mount Lebanon going to call a timeout. That'll be their 3rd and final timeout of this half. 5:17 remaining in the fourth quarter. Upper St. Clair leads Mount Lebanon 28-7. Again, we just want to look ahead right now. Mount Lebanon will get the ball back. I'm going to assume Upper St. Clair will punt. Would really like to see Upper St. Clair, or excuse me, Mount Lebanon start playing for next week, get something going offensively to give Seth some confidence as we head into 3 big conference games down this stretch.
No question. No question. I think Seth has 3 completions, certainly not what he's used to. He's done such a good job leading this team this year.
Yeah, guys, I got to tell you, I'm really surprised by this game. I was expecting kind of Mount Lebanon offense to open up and kind of unload tonight. Just was not our night at all. So Mount Lebanon will have their hands full. They travel all the way out to Pine Ridgeland next week at 7:30 to take on the Rams, followed by Norwin and then Central Catholic. So tough road ahead for these Blue Devils. They got to dig deep. Be nice to get one final drive here to set things up for next week. Mount Lebanon rushes the punt.
JB
Quick kick.
Through, hands up. Get away. Well, here we go. We'll see what they're made of here. This is gut check time.
Seth Morgan heads out. He'll take over with 5:10 remaining in this 4th quarter. Ball placed, it looks like the 37-yard line. Mount Lebanon heading out of the north end zone.
.5:10 on the clock. Mount Lebanon will start this drive at their own 37.
Looks like the Panthers have, no, looks like the Panthers still have their starting defense out there.
Another 6-man huddle for the Blue Devils, Brian.
Oh, Histicaro in stride. Well done. Seth Morgan finds the slot receiver, DeCaro, over the middle from the 37-yard line. Lucas runs all the way down to the Upper St. Clair 36-yard line. Excellent running catch by DeCaro, the second-team all-conference wide receiver.
And you have to wonder, I'm watching Antonio Orsini on defense chasing DeCaro, cramping up again after the play. You wonder at what point does this kid, what time do they call it a night for him as he's in on the tackle of Seth Morgan? He's rushed for well over 150 yards or close to 150 yards, had an interception return for a touchdown, playing defense.
Clock running, 4:44 left in this 4th quarter. Morgan on the keeper, keeps it 5 yards. Seth leading rusher for the Blue Devils this evening. In shotgun, Upper St. Clair blitzes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, nice tackle by McClendon. That'll be 3rd down and 10. Evan Jones, the junior, one of the toughest kids on the team, takes a big hit there, bounces right back up. 3rd down and 10 for the Blue Devils. Obviously, you're in 4-down territory here. Clock continues to run, 4:11 left. Mount Lebanon out of timeouts.
Probably the biggest hit laid by Upper St. Clair tonight. Mount Lebanon, I think that's the one category they have won this evening. They've made some really tough sticks. Seth under pressure. He was down, I believe. This St. Clair defensive line is just pinning their ears back and coming now on every down.
Yeah, on that play, St. Clair blitzed the linebacker. They rushed 5. We only had 5 blockers in. And Seth, not enough time to pass the ball. It'll be 4th down and 16 for the Blue Devils. Clock continues to run. 3:50 left. They're winding the clock. Coach Render upset that the clock was not being wound there. You know, we didn't touch on this that much, but you got to remember, Coach Junko is one of the defensive coaches for the Panthers. He certainly knows a lot about this Mount Lebanon offense. It looks like
you're right.
The Panthers were very well prepared defensively. Just not a lot of people open for Seth Morgan this game. And again, we've had trouble getting any rhythm going offensively.
And that's the 3rd time they've put Seth on the ground, their 3rd sack of the evening.
Mount Lebanon deploys 5 wide receivers. Seth Morgan alone in shotgun. St. Clair 4-down linemen.
Not sure what the officials are still waiting for from the booth. The head referee's still staring at the scoreboard clock and back up at the score box.
Neither the
Score booth.
play clock nor the game clock are running.
Referee seems to be wondering why the folks in the booth aren't listening to him. He's asking him to take some time off the clock. I think there was some confusion with the ball loose on the ground at the end of that play. It's been wound to 3:39.
And it should keep running right now.
It'll start on the whistle. 4th and 15.
What's your best 4th and 15 play?
Not sure. We've had some pretty good strikes over the middle. I think they're going to go back to
They
it.
blitz.
There he
Throws
is.
long.
Timmy's open.
Oh,
There it was. A well-designed play there by the Blue Devils. Timmy got open out the sideline.
nice ball by Seth. Drop back, had plenty of time. Walters down the left sideline, could not hold on to the pass. The story of the game for Mount Lebanon. Boy, had him. Mount Lebanon defense still in their base 3-5. Oh, he's got a lot of room there. Oh my, Dave. Jeez. Gain of 9 yards, 2nd down and 1. Clock continues to run with 2:59 left in the 4th quarter. Upper St. Clair 28, Mount Lebanon 7. Ball at the 49-yard line. Of course, Coach Render and the Panthers content to let this clock run as they've taken over this 4th quarter, leading Mount Lebanon by 21 points on the road.
Orsini again. I mean, he had, prior to that play, Brian Orsini had 23 carries for 151. Added another 10 or 12 to that. He's had himself a night with an interception return for a touchdown.
Yeah, very nice game by Orsini. Tackle there by the junior, number 24, strong safety, Jack Sullivan. Makes the tackle. Clock continues to run, 2:20 remaining in this 4th quarter. St. Clair has all of its timeouts. Mount Lebanon not capable of stopping the clock. They've used all theirs. It's 1st down and 10 for the Panthers at the Blue Devil 39-yard line. Running straight ahead, McClendon breaking tackles.
What a nifty move there. Made Michael Palmer miss on a...
Yeah, you don't see that very often. McClendon, the senior, takes the ball, carries.
Was talking to some parents at halftime. They said McClendon's been nursing a shoulder injury most of the season.
Boy, so McClendon runs 9 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 1 for the Panthers. Clock continues to run, 1:35. Give this Upper St. Clair Panther team a lot of credit. Very well coached, not a lot of mistakes. They've run the ball effectively when they need to, and Sweeney's looked very good at quarterback. Blue Devil defense looks like it's dragging a little bit. They've been on the field a lot, backs against the wall most of the game. Sweeney goes forward, will have the 1st down. Sweeney on the keeper, takes it to the left side, picks up 1.5 yards. That'll be an Upper St. Clair 1st down, and that should ice the clock for the Panthers.
Clock will stop for the 1st down, and then he'll run it. Well, Brian, I got to tell you, I've enjoyed this tonight. I know you and Denny do a great job, and I appreciate you guys doing this and giving me a chance to sit in tonight. I want Denny to feel better and come back, and if you ever need a replacement, I'm happy to do it.
Hey, Dave, great job tonight. Appreciate having you up here. longtime Mount Lebanon resident and fan. And
I've been spending 51 years trying to figure out how to be a starter on Friday night, and I finally made it.
did a great job announcing the game. Great having you. Denny, we missed you. Hope you feel better for Pitt football tomorrow. Good luck to the Panthers. That's the Pitt Panthers. Sweeney simply takes the snap and takes the knee. That will end this game. A renewal of this rivalry. Upper St. Clair comes into Mount Lebanon Stadium, lays the wood to the Blue Devils in the second half. 28, Upper St. Clair, Mount Lebanon 7. Mount Lebanon just had a tough time getting anything going in the second half, and then two costly penalties on touchdowns made it difficult for the Blue Devils to come back. Coach Render notches another win. Coach is shaking hands now at midfield. Players shaking hands. J.B. Nelson leading the Blue Devils out.
Oh, I don't know about this. As the Upper St. Clair students take the field, which I've never seen happen at any high school football game. Melnick telling them to get off the field, which I think is appropriate, and frankly, it shouldn't be his job. I think it's very unusual to see any team's fans, especially visiting fans, come onto the field, and hate to end the game on a sour note like that. Just hate to see kids act that way.
The St. Clair kids are going back to their sideline. So, well, we're going to sign off here. It's been a pleasure connecting with the Mount Lebanon community. Tough one for the Blue Devils. Again, they've got 3 games left. They're 3 conference games in 6A. Tough road ahead. They go play North at Pine Richland, then come back home for senior recognition night against Norwin, and they'll finish against Central Catholic.
I'm afraid this might not end well here, Brian, on the field. But again, I've never seen a student section from the visiting team come onto the field and act the way these kids are acting. I appreciate the fact that they're excited, but yeah, it's an unfortunate ending, and I think a disrespectful ending to an otherwise good high school football game.
Yeah, I'm sure St. Clair's coaching staff will clear them off as the Mount Lebanon
Finally,
police
the Mount Lebanon police are making their way
as
out.
well. That should clarify it pretty quickly, as does the Upper St. Clair athletic director, as does Upper St. Clair and Mount Lebanon's athletic director. All right, Dave, pleasure doing the game with you.
All right, Brian.
Thanks to all those who tuned in this evening. Again, big night tomorrow night. It's the Hall of Champions event.
Check and see if you can still buy a ticket online, but I think we have over 250 people in attendance to honor a lot of really good distinguished alumni and current athletes of Mount Lebanon School District. So all the best to everyone and congratulations to everybody. Thanks again for letting me sit in for Denny. And Denny, feel better.
Great job. Good night, Mount Lebanon Blue Devil fans. We'll be back 2 weeks from now for Senior Rec Night, Mount Lebanon versus Norwin. Thanks for tuning in. God bless. Take care.